towards Morgan Roy, brilliant save indeed! Walsh has scored! Leicester City are in dreamland now! Vardy in the middle, this could be a huge moment! Vardy scored! And it's pandemonium in Leicester!
Mahrez with his left, Albrighton with his right, it is Mahrez, it's a good ball in, Morgan's there, it's in! Leicester City score! It is a captain's goal from Wes Morgan, who lifted the Premier League trophy in May. He might have played a big part now in taking Leicester City through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Lift the trophy to the skies! Leicester City are the champions of the Premier League! 5,000 to 1.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for the first match day live or watch along, whatever we're calling it these days. The first one of the season, of the 25-26 season. Of course, it's pre-season, so not actually the actual season. But here we are. Leicester City versus Peterborough. It will be live. Kickoff is at 12:30. We'll be doing the watch along like we do for all of the games, and we will be watching some exciting young talents today. It seems. No Jamie Vardy, of course. No Patson Daka either. Actually, today we're going to discuss it all, of course. But we're going to get into the team straight away because the starting 11 has been confirmed already. Of course. It does change at halftime, a whole new 11 in the second half, which we'll bring up as well later on in the stream. But yeah, let's bring this up straight away. And here is the starting 11. So we have Jakub Stolarczyk in goal, Ricardo Pereira at right back, Ben Nelson and Caleb Okoli at centre back, Luke Thomas at left back, a midfield duo of Oliver Skipp and Harry Winks. We called it last season. We said this will be the midfield partnership this season. Well, so far it's looking likely. The three players in behind the striker, Wanya Marcel, not seen him for such a long time. Michael Golding in the number 10 and Steffi Mavididi wearing the number 10 on the left-hand side. Jake Evans as the striker. Exciting. Yes, there will be more people. Don't worry. They'll be joining us as the stream goes on. It's not just me. Don't worry. You don't have to put up with this. But yes, an interesting 11. Let me know in the description. Obviously, we're early. You know, kickoff isn't for another 27 minutes. So we're going to be talking about other stuff, not just the match, of course. We'll be talking about other bits and bobs because I know that's what you want to do. I'm already seeing comments talking about, well, moaning. I've been doing the same all morning, mate, so don't you worry. Okay, let me do a bit of magic a second here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's stick with that. Okay, let's get some of the comments in the chat. Here we go. Sean James says, ready to see Golding. Hey, Locks, how are you? How are you, Rene, mate? Hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you. Rising Fox is in the chat. Huge day for the academy. Henry Cartwright will be one to watch. Squad looks healthier compared to last season, I must say. Let's go, even if it's a friendly. Kunal says we get to see the Okoli and Nelson partnership. Looks like Andy King knows what the fans want. We did speak this. I mean, we spoke about Winks and Skip, right? I said that at the start, but we did also speak about a potential Nelson and Okoli partnership. So we're going to see that in the first half. Some more comments here. Dave says, no Vardy. Here's the first moan of the day. Here we go, Dave. Let's get into it, mate. No Vardy, no shirt, no sponsor, no manager, no signings, no sales, no clue. Top out, King Power out, Rudkin out, Whelan out. I don't disagree with you, Dave. I don't disagree with you at all, mate. Don't know what you mean by this, but yeah. Noah, Neil, or Manny, they'll be here soon. Not a bad 11. Well, that's because of the international game. Yes, we've got Daka missing. We've got Bilal missing. We've got Wilfred Ndidi missing. Fatawi's missing because of his injury. I'm guessing he's not ready yet. So we are still missing a lot. Although some of those players I mentioned, you're probably glad we're missing, to be honest with you. How does this look like? How does this look better than half of our lineups last season? It's a very good point, mate. It's a very, very good point. Here we go. Another one. Richard says no kit. So using training wear. We are such a professional club. No manager, no sponsor, no goalkeeper, coach, no players in or out. And you bang on. You bang on the money, mate. Yeah. Yeah. A professional football club that's having to play their pre-season friendly games in training wear because they've not sorted out the thing. I mean, it's crazy. It is nuts. I agree with you, mate. I agree. Don't worry. This is a very good question as well. Where the fuck is I mean, where is anyone at this point? Where is any manager? Not just Roll. You know, give us somebody at this point. Although when they announce Wilder, then I'll regret saying that. But yeah, we need some news. We need some news. I will be watching Diogo Jota and Andre Silva live on Sky News. Yeah, again, we spoke about it last night, but yeah, really, really sad news, obviously, with Jota. Boz says if we win 5-0, give King the job. Oh, no, let's not give King the job. Please, let's not give King the job. Andy King's Blue and White Army. I mean, there's been interesting bits this week in the interviews with Kingy, saying stuff like, I'm getting the players ready for their next manager. So who is that going to be? Who knows? It might help if he knew who the next manager is going to be, because then he could start preparing in the right way in certain ways, you know. Playing in the training kit is embarrassing. I mean, even Peterborough are going to be playing in their new kit, which is, yeah. Frankie says, are you? No, are you? That's true as well. That is true. Any news on Evans' contract? Got nothing for you, mate. Although I did see something today that apparently if he planned on leaving the club, he needed to give notice like in June. And he hasn't, well, as far as we're aware. So I think he is staying, but we'll wait and see. The whole of preseason in the training kit, you'll never see anything like it. Well, yeah, I mean, the kit will be out later this month, Sean. The new kit will 100% be out later this month. It's just how late that is. I honestly don't know, but it will be this month, mate. The club said the kit will, later on in the month. Yeah. It'll only happen once he's 17. That's about Evans. Not entirely right. You can still sign them up on the scholarships and stuff, but yeah. We are clearly waiting for Roll to leave Wednesday. I hope that's the case. You would have thought that we would have had Wilder, Dyche, Carrick, Gary O'Neill. Unless they've waited for Roll, it's not worked out, so they've had to go down another route. That's also a possibility. Evans or Steffi up top? It'll be Evans up top. It won't be Steffi. Let's be honest, the training kit will be nicer than the actual kit. That's also a very good point there, Josh. Monga should be starting. We'll see Monga in the second half, of course. He'll be starting the second half. They said end of the month. Yep. Kingy comes across very well in the interviews and very intelligent. He'll be an asset to the club in a coaching role. Yeah, I agree with it. And to be honest, Richard, in the future, as the manager in the future, you know, I've got no doubt about that, but not yet. Not yet. I mean, let me know in the chat. Is there anybody here who actually thinks Andy King should be given the job? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments, in the live chat, if you think Andy King should be given the job full-time, the manager job, because I just really think it's cowardly. I think it'd be cowardly of Top to do that. It's a PR thing. They know the fans will get on board with it, or some fans will get on board with it. They'll be maybe a bit more passive. Maybe passive is not the right word, but they might be a bit more, not as harsh with King as they would with another manager. So I just think it would be a cowardly move in general. And the cheap option, which is never the right option. Pay cheap, pay twice. That's what they say. The club would kill Kingy as a manager. Exactly, this is my point. You look at Ryan Mason, right? Look at Ryan Mason at Tottenham. I know he's at West Brom now, but he's the man they always rely on when they needed somebody, Tottenham. And that you could probably say that's why. I don't know. I just don't think I don't think this is the type of job you should have as your first job. I understand circumstance might make that more likely, that if you're at a club in a coaching role and you want to be a manager, then you may become an interim at one point. But I would much rather Kingy has more experience under his sleeve. I mean, he's been at the club for 6 months as a coach. I mean, there's been speculation as to whether he's even got all of his badges. He's got the A and B or whatever they call it. I don't think he's got the pro one, which, yeah, we'll see. Fossa, hello to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. We'll be joined by Luke as well very shortly. So that'll be nice. We'll see Luke soon. Yeah, I've just got a message off Luke. Are you excited to see the youngsters, man? Of course, I'm excited to see the youngsters. Look at this team. Ben Nelson, I mean, he alone is worth watching this game for, because we haven't seen him since the 23-24 season under Enzo, and he went out on loan, of course, last season. He got injured, unfortunately, and if he wasn't injured, I would have liked to see him brought back in January and get in the team, but it didn't work out, and now he is back, and there's rumors, very very light rumors, very very light, probably not true, that Chelsea want him. We need to keep hold of him, in my opinion. Wanya Marcel, I mean, look, he had a good start to that 23-24 season. I'm still convinced something kicked off there. Do you know what I mean? I'm convinced something kicked off with him and Enzo. Maybe he was getting a bit too big for his boots. But he scored that goal against Cardiff, didn't he? And then I swear it was like not long after that we just did not see him again. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy that we didn't see him again after that. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see him again, of course. There we go. Let's have a look. Who else is there? So, yeah, Michael Golding, very, very high promising player at Chelsea's academy. We signed him, of course, last season, £5 million in part of that Dewsbury Hall deal. It'll be interesting. I mean, in some of the training videos, he's looked good. Another one who should have been sent out on loan last season. But yeah, I look forward to seeing more of him. And Jake Evans, of course, he was the third top goal scorer in Premier League 2, the Youth Premier League, until he got called up to the first team. So yeah, again, we're trying to get him signed up, of course. Percy broke that news about Chelsea interested in Nelson, so definitely true. Yeah, Enzo did like him. Wouldn't want Kingy to ever be a manager. Just stay as a coach with us for donkey's years, then retire to a birch time. I mean, that's not fair, though, is it? Now, I get what you're saying, but it's not fair. If he wants to be a manager, he could be a manager, right? It's just whether that's with us or not. That's the question. It's a total joke that we haven't appointed a manager yet, and an embarrassment. I agree. Couldn't break that loan curse. Hi to you, Moxie. Hope you're doing well, mate. Josh has huge season for some of these youngsters. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely huge. We will get to see more than 1 minute of Jake Evans. That's also true, mate. Yeah, good shout. I mean, it would have been nice to see him play against some of a higher level, not Peterborough, like last season in the Premier League. It would have been nice to see him more in the Premier League, but hopefully this is just a start for him now this season, today. And we'll see a lot of him this season in the Championship. That will be bloody beaut. Be honest, Locks, do you think Roll will be our manager? Oh, man. If you asked me this 2 days ago, I would have said absolutely. But the longer time goes on, the more worried I get. And let's just talk about this, right? That last season, if you remember, the club panicked in the summer. We were waiting for Graham Potter for so long. When it was apparent that he probably wasn't going to come, they panicked and went for Cooper. My worry now is that as this Rolls saga goes on and on and on, if it's either him stalling or if it's Sheffield Wednesday being difficult in negotiations, if it's Leicester being difficult in negotiations, that's also a possibility that they want to pay less and less. They might panic and go elsewhere. And we're already starting to hear little things like Chris Wilder and Gary O'Neill and worrying. Is Channel up for sale if Wilder gets the job? Mate, if Chris Wilder gets the job, I am handing the channel over to O'Neill and Manny. I promise you that. If Chris Wilder gets this job, I can't do it. My worry is we end up with someone like a Gerrard. I mean, a Gerrard is definitely better than a Wilder, in my opinion. Under no circumstances do I want Gerrard. Well, no, there's one circumstance. If it's between him and Wilder, it's Gerrard for me. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, although when I say, yeah, I don't know. They're both equally as shit, to be honest with you. So it could be paperwork. I think it's probably the Wednesday stuff. If it comes down to it, Carrick over anyone else, it's an interesting take. Carrick's definitely better than some of the others. Yes, sir, Rene. Oh, obviously, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Wilder over. Roll over any of any. Wilder or yeah. It feels like Top has lost interest with the club. Shrek says, yeah. I mean, maybe he's selling the club. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Comment here from Ben saying you can't be having Wilder proper tosser. Would ruin the young lads. Yeah. What do they call him? The Leeds fans call him. I think they call him ham face. I don't know. There's a meme of him looking like a piece of ham with tomatoes on or something. Anil will find it for me. Right. Talking of Anil, actually, he's here. Let's get Anil in. Here we go. What's going on, mate?
Pre-season. Let's go. No manager, no coaches, no plan, no clue. What's not to love?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, let me ask you then about the obvious, which is the team news. Again, we already know that it'll be 2 halves of 11, or 2 halves of 2 different 11s, if that makes sense. What do you make to it, mate? Ricardo, Nelson, Okoli, Thomas, Skip, Winks, Wanya, Marcel, Michael Golden, Mavadidi, Evans. The forward part of the pitch there is definitely much more exciting than the back end.
Yeah, I mean, look, for this first particular game, I don't really have any expectations. It's all about the fitness. And normally, when we watch the first pre-season game, they actually have already had 1 or even 2 games where they've had some of that fitness. So there is a little bit more interest. But I think because we haven't, like, it'll be fun to see everyone there. But like, to be honest with you, this is more to hang out with everyone in chat and blue tinted glasses. Don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but don't expect there to be like free flowing, amazing attacking football. But let's see what people can do. I know that would obviously be amazing. What if the team's already clicking and they're playing really nice? And I'll tell you what I would like to see. I would like to see, because Ricardo is starting, what if Ricardo inverts straight away and one of the other at the midfield 2 pushes up? That would be interesting to see. That how are we going to go about doing things? But yeah, look, it will be good to see some things. I mean, it's quite refreshing, I would say. And as you say, like the last time we saw players like Monga, even Evans, we haven't really seen what they're fully about. So I think most excited to see Jake Evans in this first. I think Monga in a second, but also Golding. Let's see what they can do. And look, I think something's fun when the pressure's off, right? It doesn't matter about the result. It's just about kind of getting the fluency. But, as you and everyone else has mentioned, I think the big problem is we don't have a manager. Like, even if, like, I know we don't want him to be manager, but let's just say Andy King was the manager, then at least today's game would be interesting, because you'd be like, oh, wow, look, Andy King's going to play 3 at the back, or Andy King's going to try this player in this role or something like that. Is he mad? Is he a genius? We could figure it out. But because we don't even have that moment, it's a bit disappointing. And I'm worried because, the last time that we were in the championship, the thing that we got right is that we got Enzo aggressively. We got the players in aggressively. We started and we saw those patterns of play in game 1. And you're like, okay, this is exciting. Is it going to work in the championship or not? We don't know. We know that it did work with Vincent Company, but we weren't sure. And as it turned out, of course, Enzo Maresca, HMS pissed the league was in full effect. So that's what we want to see. But guys, then have you seen Birmingham? They're on a tear. They're signing like a player every single day at the moment. They're going to finish above us at the current rate. We got to get a move on.
Yeah, Andreas, the team definitely looks fitter in training already. Shrek says, morning, Anil. Have you been to Turkey? The Pearlers are looking to today. Skip as a high 8. Would you reckon to that, Neil? would you fancy?
Well, he actually has been used like that sometimes. The way that the system worked is that sometimes he did move forwards to join in with the attack. So you might well see that, Buzz, to be honest with you. That might be a good call. Do I think it's a good idea? That's a different question. but do I think, if I had to predict, I think that is what's going to happen. I think you're going to see in possession, I think Ricardo is going to invert inside, and I think Skip is going to push up. So let's see if they do that or not. But good call there, Buzz. And when we're both wrong, we can just pretend this never happened.
I've seen Skip sat down by academy level players so many times, and I'm baffled as to how he's still. Well, the starting 11's irrelevant, to be honest with you, Banana. Today it's just a preseason game, mate. No head loss needed, to be honest, from the starting 11. Let me ask you this, Anil, because I think it's important we do actually mention it. No Vardy, no shirt, no sponsor, no manager, no signings, no sales, no clue. Top out, King Power out, Rudkin out, Whelan out. I mean, people will say we're looking into it too deep or we're going over the top, but
no, we're not.
To be sat here, first game of preseason with not a kit or a manager, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy,
mate. I'll be honest. I've actually been spamming the official videos with a message very similar to that, And I've been saying all that. I go, I've literally put this is a disgusting way to treat supporters, because that is my personal opinion. I actually cannot think of another club in England other than maybe Sheffield Wednesday right now that is in such a farce. And I've got the official footage on there. Mark Albrighton's there speaking to Dan, whatever his face is. And of course, will they mention the elephant in the room? No, they won't. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just don't get it. And I don't know. What I really don't get, Locks, is just like, what is their thinking? Why is it so radio silent, right? You are allowed, like I say, the thing with like fans and football is that people know you're going to have good times and bad times. Look, we mentioned, unfortunately, the tragic news of Diogo Jota, but that's when fans can come together. Even fans from other clubs can support you, right? If they were honest and said, look, we got relegated, we're having some hard times, COVID's hit the business, they could just say that we're in active discussions with a number of coaches, but things are difficult and we're trying to find the right person. I mean, at least that's something. The radio silence, I mean, but one thing I've got to say about this, Docs, is we cannot let up on the club here. I think it's actually quite important for us as a channel to call this out for what it is, which is bullshit, pardon my language, at midday. You cannot treat people like that. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't think Vichai if he's in charge, this kind of stuff would happen. There could be problems, but I don't think he would treat the fan base like this. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And I think when people want King Power out, I personally can't argue against it now, because it's not even a success on or off the pitch. That's for me not the issue. The issue is you cannot treat fans, like I say, football is a sport. It's something very different. It's historical, isn't it? It's based off the fact that like the club comes from the city, it was set up by people in the city. That's what it represents. And no, this is not the way that it should go about doing things.
I mean, Ben says here, only club in the country with no manager, being run like a Sunday league. So, I mean, yeah, technically Wednesday have a manager. They've got
yeah, he's just not turned up to work.
Yeah, exactly. He's just AWOL. If there's transparency, there's pitchforks. This isn't true, though, man. This isn't.
No, I think Sean is right there. But the thing is that that's of your own doing. You can't just like bury they are being ostriches right now. What do you think is going to happen when they start revealing news that everyone's going to suddenly forgive them? No.
Yeah.
Of course they're not going to do it. You can't just keep running away from trouble. And what this is that like, I don't know, you've taken your dad's car for a ride and you've crashed it. Right, but instead of going home, you just keep staying out, and now they're worried that you haven't come home. This definitely hasn't happened in my real life, and they, you're just making it worse. At some point, Locke, you got to go home and you got to face the music, right? And
I said this the other day. Yeah. I said it on the stream, right? I said, yeah, last year, mate, driving through Leicester, went through a bus lane fine, but went through a bus lane, got a fine. I ignored it, like the club are doing. I ignored it. Guess what? 6 months later, wake up, look out my window, my car's clamped. You know what I mean? So like,
there you go. You did a King Power. You're no better than top.
Exactly, 100%. I'm not worried about an embargo, as surely we'd have heard about it by now. Not necessarily. I mean, we'll wait and see. If it's
we haven't signed a player though, that is notable, because a lot of teams now are starting to do it. Right, Birmingham have always signed a lot, but I've just seen it like even the smaller teams are starting to sign players. So it is weird. That said, you look at that squad right now, and it's still pretty strong. Other than the striker, you'd be thinking, we could arguably not sign a single player and still get promoted. But I don't think we should have to do that.
Yeah. It's turning into a Mike Ashley Newcastle situation too. And to be honest, Anil, the way I feel is that like the more stick they get as well, the more the club are going to be like, woe is me, like, oh, they hate us. Why do they hate us? Like, I feel like they feel sorry for themselves.
They do. They're children. And I think that's another thing, is that for whatever reason, it's like, pride comes before the fall. That famous saying. And it's like, they can't admit when they're wrong or they've made mistakes. And I don't understand it. It's one of the worst things that I've seen, because we keep saying that compared to every other owner in the current country, King Power have got such an amazing amount of like good faith from the fan base. It's like people aren't stupid. No one's expecting Leicester City to win the Premier League every season. We've seen the miracle, right? But why are you excluding the fans? I just don't get it. And people could say it's culture and stuff like that, but I don't think it's just cultural. I think it's honestly the ownership, and they don't want to admit when things are going wrong, but they see that as being failure. When, I don't think that's right. I think you've got to be accountable, and you've got to put your hands up and say, look, we made a mistake. we're going to try and do some things to address it. That's really the way to go about it. And I saw this actually. I saw on Talksport, there's an interview with the Ipswich chairman, and like they asked him, they said, well, how did you think your first season was in the Premier League? And he just says, it was brutal. He goes, we invested a lot, but look at it. We barely won any games. We're getting beaten every week. It's really, really depressing. We've got to think of a way of how to do things. So there you go.
Yeah. Birmingham have signed Gray. After this result, we confirm our place in the Sky Bet Championship. Shrek says, that's what I feel top. Why I feel Top has lost interest. Fine if he wants to sell up, but until he does, he's got a duty of care for the club as long as he remains the owner. Here's one for you, Neil, though. Like Mr. Fox says, how come we haven't sold our women's team to ourselves like Villa have? King Power, clueless. I mean, this is something I talk about quite often. It's like don't hate the player, hate the gamer, Neil. If these clubs are doing these things like selling the training ground, which we have 2 of, by the way, we have 2 training grounds, selling women's team. Why haven't we done any of this in order to avoid PSR? Like, I don't get it why these other clubs have and we haven't.
Well, I think as is going to come out in the next couple of weeks, I think it's just an absolute farce behind the scenes. I don't think anyone's really got any idea what's going on or how they're going to fix it. And therefore, it's just a colossal mess, isn't it? I mean, even before that, the whole OHL thing, when they first made that deal, I thought this is so smart. They're going to use the club as a feeder club to develop players and move them through. They can't quite do it on the same level as Man City and Red Bull, but they've realized that's where the game is going. And they've never once used it for that. And now all the other clubs are doing it and we still haven't used it properly. So what was the point of doing it? There's no joined up thinking, I think.
Yeah. Frankie, I mean, yeah, maybe it's not allowed in the Championship, but we were a Premier League club for, last season. Why didn't we do it? Why didn't we do it? Who knows? The game is a couple of minutes away. The players are out on the pitch. I was going to say the King Power, but at Seagrave. Obviously, they can't play on the King Power because the pitch is in fucking pieces. Right, Manny's here as well. What's going on, Manny?
Afternoon, all back by unpopular demand. Peterborough it is. Yeah, looks good though, doesn't it? The team looks all right. Well, apart from midfield, everything. About
I was going to say you must have had a nightmare seeing those two lining up together.
Well, do you know what? It's actually, this is the debate we've been having. These two, we're assuming, are going to be good in this league. We're assuming these two have the experience, the knowledge, the know-how. The level's not going to be too fast or too high for them. The league's not going to be too quick for them. I have my doubts, particularly about Skip, and we've all been laughing about those little clips we've been watching, right, of him just being put on his backside by a bunch of kids. I'm not so convinced at all, and this might be one of those where, if he does look a bit ropey, we might want to be looking to shift him out this summer and try and get, maybe you can still get, what do you think we could get for Skip? Will someone pay 10 for him? 12? 15? 15.
What, for Skip?
I think you'd be lucky to get a 5.
No chance. Yeah.
Someone's going to say, he played in the Champions League. He made the England squad. He's only 24. Come on, surely we can get 10 for him.
I think you'd be surprised. Can I just say, by the way, the kit that they're playing in the training kit, it's actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice for a training kit. Maybe they just save the money and bloody make that the kit instead.
To me, you can see with my background, you can't see at the moment, but to me, a Leicester shirt looks right with a King Power sponsor. That's the shirt that we've achieved things with. That's when we got promoted the first time. All these sponsors that came in, whether it was, what was that other company? Not BC Game, the one before, the finance. I was going to say FSB, but it's definitely not the FSB.
FBS, wasn't it?
FBS, that's it. FBS. Does those shirts look right? Does anyone ever going to wear those shirts ever again? It has to be a King Power for us, unless it's something.
Walkers is good, yeah.
All right, let's pop
what about Inns Cooper back in the day and shirts like that? There was some.
If it's a local company like
BTG?
Next,
yeah.
Come on, Lugs, get those cobwebs off your wallet. And, they need an injection of cash. Let's get BTG a sponsor.
Nice segue, by the way. Big shout out to the sponsors of the channel, Match Bingo, down below. If you do want to take a look, then the QR code is on screen, so feel free to scan that. Maybe one day Match Bingo will give us the money to put BTG on the front of the Leicester shirt. Who knows? But yeah, the players there are doing I don't know what they're doing, a little Just
I
standing
reckon
there.
it might be a minute of silence for Diego Jota might be
Ah.
coming up. Is my prediction.
Yeah.
You know what? The shirts do look quite good, actually.
Hey, I'm gonna say it. That Jake Evans, right? He's got that. I'm telling you, he's got this. He's got that Hazard build about him. Yeah, Hazard. He looks like Hazard. I'm telling you.
Did you boys see the Club World Cup match overnight? Or have you seen the highlights? Seen the goals?
No.
The Palmeiras against Chelsea. Have a look at the Palmeiras Esteval's goal.
Yeah, he is supposed to be the best young Brazilian talent for quite a few years.
Look at his body. Look at his body style. He looks like Mo Farah. Honestly, he's like the skinniest, little thinnest. There's nothing to him. He's got no muscle. He just looks like bones and skin. But because you've got no muscle, look how quickly he accelerates away from the player just before he strikes the ball. It's that first 2 meters. He moves so quickly over the first 2 meters. Defender can't get to him.
Mahrez was like that as well. Like Ranieri used to say, like the reason why this guy doesn't get any injuries is he's got no muscle on him. He's all just like chicken wire and bones and stuff like that. But it actually works for him. It's going to be interesting to see if Esteval, if they actually play him this season, Chelsea, or loan him out. Like, because I don't even know, Real Madrid signed that Endrick as well, didn't they? He never really played.
Oh, do you want Esteval on loan?
No, that would be. Come on, Chelsea, make it happen.
Enzo, connection. Come on, buddy. You know, all is forgiven. Let's borrow. Can we just borrow Esteval? You're not going to start him next season.
Talking of kits, look. Which of these are your favourite then? I love the Tops tiles. I love that one. The Tops tiles.
Really?
Yeah,
There's two ones I like. I like the 94 shirt that we got promoted with Brian Little, and I like the Walker shirt with where you could straighten up the collar with the white collar.
Yeah.
This sort of, I would say that's more of a Matty Elliott shirt. Yeah, I think that's a belt.
Won the cups with those.
Yeah, we won the cups with those. That's the thing. You got to be an iconic shirt. You've got to have won something with it.
Yeah. No one's working for BC Game though.
Like if you try and get a Leicester shirt from Wembley 21, you know the maroon one, the sort of, is that the right colour? Maroon.
Yeah.
That's like 350 odd quid on eBay, something like that. If you want one of those, it's
Walkers. Somebody said, yeah, the Walkers ones. I like the original Walkers though because it goes better with the kit. You know, the white one.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the red bit wasn't as good in my opinion, but the kit Manny's mentioning did have the red, so.
Yeah,
I like a bit of colour on it.
And the away kit this season is rumoured to be that jade, that navy and jade. You know what we had in 1995, the half and half jade and navy. It's going to be a remake of that. So you know how a couple of years ago we had the remake of the sash.
Oh, I know which one. Is it like a bit of green and a bit of blue?
It's navy and green. It's navy and green.
I think I know which one you mean.
Look, can I ask? Is the reason why Luke's not here because Ricardo's here on the pitch and he doesn't want to eat the ghost pepper on stream?
That's true.
Because that would make sense. I'm just putting it two together in my head.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here at 12:30. I can't see him yet. The LG one was my favourite. That's a controversial one. Yeah, pink third kit as well. We're going to be having. It will be a pink third kit. But yeah, the game is about to start.
And is this the first game that Michael Golding's ever started for us in any game ever?
Did he start in one of the earlier cup games last season?
No, he's never started, man. He's right. He has come on, but even in the pre-season friendlies last year, he came on, but never started.
We've never seen him for 45 minutes. I don't think. Well, maybe 45. I'm not sure if we've even seen him for 45. So that's the one. I'm on Golding watch today. Golding and Evans. That's what I'd love to see those two link up well. And Jake Evans is small, diminutive, and they're the kind of things.
He's playing up front as Jake
I
Evans.
want to see if that works.
Yeah.
Just give him a chance, and I think he's a boy who can finish.
Yeah.
Well, we have kicked off, by the way. So there we go. We've kicked off. The maroon kit from 2021 is the cleanest we've had for years. Hello, Luke. What's going on, mate? Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. What's going on?
Yeah, I think Ricky's inverting. He's inverting next there to Inks.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So
there you go. Your dreams of seeing Ollie skip as a high 8, they've been answered. Whoever asked for that in chat.
Andy Enzo King is putting Ricky right next to Winks, just like the last time we were in the championship, and we got 3 at the back.
Look at
And
that
Luke-
beaming smile on Luke. But Luke, don't forget, Ricky's still here. That pepper, get it ready.
Hey, that's the first game was the agreement. Leave me alone. Get the milk ready.
This is the first game. No, I'm joking.
Is it fuck?
What? Just I know we've had this chat before, Luke, but just are you blue top or green top for your milk that you're going to have
What
to
do you
drink when you've had the, for your milk? When you have to drink endless amounts of milk because you're going to lose that bet to locks because Ricardo's captain and he's playing double pivot, so you've lost your bet.
Oh, I'll drink whatever, man. I'm easy. I won't need it. I'm just gonna raw dog it.
Yeah,
Raw dog it. Raw dog it.
you're going to raw dog it. Mate.
Buzz, we were right in nil. Ricardo inverted and skip higher. Yeah. There we go. A+ for Buzz. It's funny. This is what we keep doing it. Like all of last season as well. We're like, oh, is Ricardo inverted? Is he inverted? Oh, we've lost Luke.
We've lost him already. I can already see a bit of attacking from Peterborough, but I don't know who that player is. But can you see that he looks like an extra from Different Strokes? The tiny guy, Gary Coleman up front, the really small. Can you see him? I bet you this guy's a bowler.
Coley
Yeah.
with his head on that.
Peterborough, they have a really good track record of developing some good young technical players. Like Ronnie Edwards I think he went to Southampton. Birmingham have just signed their winger Poku. He could be quite good in the trip. Okay, here's Golding.
Here we go. Out to Wanya.
You're reasonable.
Oh, here's Mr. Golding.
Marcel on the right
Yeah.
side.
Oh yeah.
Look, Amavadidi, he looks lean as well, to be fair.
It's strange, isn't it? The whole Wanya situation. Like he just disappeared under
His
Enzo. He
contract,
scored a goal.
It feels like a Tavares situation to me.
Has
He probably
Mavadidi-
was asked to sign a contract, didn't, or he wanted too much, and they said, all right, you're not playing.
Has Mavadidi cut his hair?
Yeah.
Oh, it means business then. What did he say? Premier League standards.
I
Yeah,
think he looks
Premier
better
League
like this, but
I like
he
that.
does lose a bit of that pomp, though, doesn't he? With the
I think he needs that. He needs to be more about less show and more business.
okay.
You know, no more fancy stuff. Let's not look all cool. Worry
agree
about
with
your hair. Focus on just getting the job done.
Nelson and Nicoli, you love to see it. Yeah, I mean, we're clearly trying to play the Enzo way under King here. So whether or not the new manager will incorporate that, I don't know. But
Yeah. Can't see Sean Dyche playing this way, can you? Or Chris Wilder. Chrissy Wilder. Ricardo inverted. I don't think so.
How are you 20 seconds ahead of me? What minute
No
are you
idea.
guys on?
I'm on 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm,
well,
about
I'm
12
not.
I'm 12 seconds behind you.
Yeah, I guess just refresh the stream. But that's the thing with the.
I've done it twice. Anyway. Luke Thomas, there you go. Out of position again, a bog standard. Gets too tight to the defender because he doesn't want to face him one-on-one. Gets caught out of position, has to foul the guy. That would have been a yellow card in the Prem.
You're
That
absurd.
was a League One standard, and he's gone in for an Aussie rules tackle because he's just been absolutely humiliated. Get him gone.
Do you know what I do though? When I'm watching games in play, in my head, I have a very basic rating marking. If someone does something good, you get +1. If you do something neutral, it's 0. And if you do something bad, it's -1. And you see on what points people end up by the end of the game. So Luke Thomas on that rating system is now got -1. So he'll have to do one good thing to get back to nullify 0. Let's see if he gets there.
So Evans is playing up top here. I mean, you could make an argument, and if he's like good, that you don't sign a striker, right? And you have him and Daka competing for the 9 this season.
Still need the 3rd though, don't we? We had 4 last
Are you?
time. Yeah, are you? I suppose. Yeah, are you? Yeah. Yeah.
Daka's competing for a
Is it-
spot on the bench.
The thing is with Evans, why I know he just played on the wing a lot as well, is that I just don't feel he's tall enough really to be a proper number 9 in the champion. I mean, look, I could be wrong. Vardy wasn't the tallest, but
How many times can we remember aerially Mavididi or Fatawu getting a ball in for Vardy to finish with his head in the Championship?
I think he did score 1 or 2 headers though. Actually,
Not too
Like,
many,
but
though, right?
Vardy, for his size, has scored a surprising
yeah.
number.
Yeah,
of,
he does. But it's
Yeah.
not really. They don't really put an aerial cross in. It's more of a slight. It's more of a.
It's a dink, isn't it? It's a back post dink that he
A
gets
back post, or
yeah.
on the floor to the near post, or
Yeah.
the drag back to the penalty spot or the edge of the box.
Yeah.
Nowadays, most of these teams, when a cross comes in, if you've seen that, in our day, most crosses were aerial, but now I think so many crosses nowadays are on the deck.
Because I look at him now, you look at his stature there, and you think that's my concern, is that will he get physically bullied by the Championship defenders?
Probably he will sometimes, for sure. Like, you're playing Millwall away, and you think you're going to get roughed up.
Here come Peterborough.
Who's number 10?
Mavididi.
Has he cut his hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nerfed himself, bro. That was part of his powers.
That's what happened to Ndidi, wasn't it?
I'm not a fan.
Do you remember when Fafana dyed his hair blonde and he literally turned into a bag of shit, and then he dyed?
Yeah, he did. There's the worst 3 games he's played for us, and then he dyed it back. Then he goes, "This experiment did not work."
Yeah.
And he dyed his hair back, and the next game was amazing as well. It was pretty hilarious.
Since Wolf dropped the flat top, he's never been the same player as well. It's not.
See that Wolf's been linked to United and Everton, isn't he?
5 million now, apparently. We thought it was 9. Apparently it's 5.
Yeah, what's all that? The only thing I would say is I think if he goes to Man United, I bet you they'll send a... Oh, they should have scored there, Borough. I bet they send a player back to us on loan. That's my prediction. But Everton, it's like, who would you even want from Everton?
I don't know if you noticed as well, by the way, that Jakob is now the number 1 over Danny Ward. Obviously, now that he's gone. Danny Ward's gone, so they've given Jakob the number 1 shirt.
By the way, I think you just underestimated that. Peterborough just had a clear chance to score a goal because the defender managed to get in between, I think it was Nelson and Thomas. So there's a gap there that he exploited, and he got a free header on goal, but it was just a crap header straight to Jakob.
Scored,
but in the Championship level, that's a goal. That's a goal. So these are the little things that you were looking at. I know it just all looks like, it's first game of pre-season, let's just knock it about, lads, and have a bit of fun. But if you're trying to build solid partnerships, particularly as a back 4 unit, you can't be having bad communication between your left-sided centre-back and the central one. And this is why Luke Thomas, if you're going to play this way and play as a black 3, Luke Thomas is not a back 3 centre-back. I don't know where people get this idea from. He's not. He's crap. He's just crap.
Who would you rather in your back 3, him or Christensen?
Victor.
That's fried. Incorrect answer.
In the open, if they both had a 5-year contract, one's going to be worth X and one's going to be worth 2.5x, and it's always going to be Victor that's 2.5x because despite Victor, I think he's been a bit harshly treated, but he can play well if he has a good game. I don't see Luke Thomas. He plays okay, at best.
Go on,
So
Wings.
is this stuff?
Did you see that fast switch? Sorry, did you see that fast switch from Wicks just then? Bend the knee, man.
Yeah.
Ball in, skip.
Oof.
So yeah, he's no. Hey, seriously though, it's so good to see Winks and Ricardo back in the double pivot together. I don't care who it's against.
What about but that means skip's higher, so maybe not a good thing.
I was just going to butt in and say, did you see that little bit by Mavididi just there? That is why I don't think we can take 10 million or even 15 million from Mavididi because
15?
he's the one.
You're not turning down 15 from surely.
I understand what you mean. I wouldn't take 15 from, by the way, because we do need some players to help us get up and make.
Yeah, you think he's essential to getting promoted, basically.
And he is a key player for goals. Like if you take his 15 goals this season out of the team, who else is going to replace those 15 goals?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, of course.
We could buy a replacement, but is there like Fatawu is a brilliant player in the Championship, and I love Fatawu, but he got 6 in the Championship, wasn't it? 6, I think it was. Was it 6 or 8? I think he got 6, including a hat trick.
I think the stats don't do him justice though. Like a lot of the progressive carries he did, a lot of bookings he got, of course. People failing. Yeah, no, I'm saying that, and he started later too because of McAteer.
Fatawu can create the chaos, but someone needs to be, resulting at the end of that chaos to put the ball actually in the net. And from there, I think Mavididi, who is on the left-hand side, is going to get us 10, never mind 15. So if you end up losing too many players, then do we have the team to go up?
For what it's worth, I agree. I just feel like Mavididi's so much more advanced in his career, and it's a real shame what happened to Fatawu in his ACL, because you could see it starting to click at the end of that championship season last time, and I think that do you know what I mean? I agree with you, Manny.
I agree with this. Who's given Thomas the corners? He was lucky to win another one there. It was a poor one.
Yeah, nuts.
Actually, Luke Thomas is the only. I've just slated the guy, and I always do, but I actually think his set piece delivery is all right. He's not bad at set piece delivery. From a dead ball, from a dead ball, his technique's okay. It's just when he has to run and kick that's the problem. He can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, is it Rodkin on the balcony? I think Rodkin's on the balcony. Yeah, I actually do. It looks like him.
Car crash.
That's where it would be.
Weeks.
I think he's on the far left of that balcony, if you can see it.
Yeah.
Wearing his tracksuit. Someone needs to ban him from wearing tracksuits, mate. Honestly, like even I look better in a tracksuit than him, and that's saying something.
What do you make of Ben Nelson as the middle of the three? So he's going to be the Vestergaard this season, or starting the attacks if we play this way.
Should have done that 12 months ago.
Yeah, well, I agree.
I'm just glad to see him and Coley as a partnership, whether it be a partnership or a back three. They're the two centre backs I want my starting 11 in a perfect world this coming season.
Yeah,
Let's see what they can do.
He's how tall is Ben Nelson?
I think he's 6'1".
6'1", 6'2", yeah.
If Coley's 6'4", Nelson looks 6'3" to me, like almost the same. Are we sure he's 6'1"?
It's the hair from Macaulay that gives him an optical illusion, I think.
He looks
yeah, the
he looks bigger.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Nelson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, like whatever number that the stat is going to tell you who he is, just look physically. When you look at them standing near each other, you tell me which one. Do they not look similar sized? That might be the camera angle that's not helping me. But to me, like Ben Nelson looks 6'4", 6'3".
This reckons he's 6'4".
What Ben Nelson?
Great.
Let me just double check. Here we go. In feet, 6'3". 6'3".
Well, he might be.
It's like that thing with it's like that thing with Casey McAteer. Like somebody on the Big Strong Leicester boys, they had that guy Branston on, and he was like, "Yeah, Casey McAteer's like 6'3". It's like, no, he's 5'10", mate. You know what I mean? It's his body shape, though, isn't it? It's like he's really skinny and lanky, and he looks taller than he actually is.
Is he on the bench today, McAteer, or is he with the internationals? Is he?
He's back, but he's not. Yeah, he has been away on international duty, so I think he's excluded.
Have they released a second starting 11 or no?
No, but we know who's in the squad. So I'll just read out who's in the squad that isn't playing now. So you've got Borsa and Donahue, the two goalkeepers. To be honest, I don't think I've ever heard of them. You've got Christiansen, Cody, Aluko, Justin, and Ali. Samare, Page, Alves, Braybrook, Cartwright, and Briggs. And Monga, Joseph, and Sidney Thomas. So I think this is definitely the better of the two 11s, to be honest with you. What seeing right now is Steffi on the left.
Where's Evans playing up top?
Yeah, he's up top, yeah.
Ben Nelson with the diag. I like that. Ben Nelson, that's a Wout fast diag to Steffi from last time. You can see Steffi.
It'll be sad if Chelsea buy Ben Nelson.
No, you should not sell him.
Yeah, well, they might be forced to. But it's like he should have been, then
the number
the centre half to club captain pathway, really.
Has he been linked to Chelsea?
Yeah, if you want to sell this kid, don't be fooled by thinking 15's a lot of money. If this guy continues to develop, he's going to be the next sort of Harry Maguire type sale on your hands. He's a potentially, I'm not saying he will get there, but he could go up to 70, 80 million pounds. Mark Guay goes for those kinds of money at the moment. And this guy, I'm telling you, he is massive and he is mobile and he can pass. I'm not sure if he can defend as well yet, but he can definitely do all the fun bits from centre-back. If he is good defensively too, and I've already seen him win a couple of headers, then this guy, you play him in the Premier League, your benchmark thinking that 15, 20 is a lot of money, so it goes out the window. That gets doubled, tripled quickly. So if you want to sell him today, he's 40 million quid if you want him at offers. Nothing like 15 or 20. And this is another problem that we have, is I don't think we value our players properly. He's a very expensive centre-back to me.
I want to see more sell-on clauses for particularly our academy youth. If they're at a young age, I want to see that initial fee plus.
To be fair, Luke, I think they will put those in. So I think, for example, if they did sell Ben Nelson, they probably would put a 10, 15, 20% clause in there.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Rodkin, mate.
No, they will. They've done it before. It's like I think they're that dumb not to do it. But I don't know. It doesn't mean you're going to get the money immediately, right?
Early shout. Ben Nelson for the next World Cup be playing in an England shirt.
What
Not
year?
not that one. The one after me. Not next year. The one after.
Well, that's
5
what all
years.
the Oxford the Oxford fans were saying. He's like John Stones. That's what they were saying.
It was very
And,
composed.
Yeah. I mean, I've just had a message from somebody who's at the game, and he said this. Ben Nelson looks so comfortable.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see why Enzo loved him. So last 5 minutes as well, the system's starting to work as it should do, starting to find the overloads and the gaps. The boxes.
Does this not feel a lot like Enzo to you? Look how wide the wingers are.
Yeah,
Look where
it's his system. It's his system.
The eights are being the 2 8s are there. You've got a front four. This is almost copycat of Enzo from what I've seen.
Yeah,
So
but the question is though, who's implementing that? Because Andy King wasn't here under Enzo, so who is implementing this?
No, but this is what my point is. No, my point is, Locks, is that I think the players have been so well drilled into that system that they can almost play it without needing to be told what to do, right? And the thing is with our squad, what this is like going into Football Manager, selecting one of the default formations, doing nothing with it and just playing. But because you've got such a good squad, it's still good enough to win you most of the games.
It's a very good.
And that's why I personally don't think, I'm not saying he should be, I've said this multiple times, but I think if Andy King was the manager and he literally just played this system and he played this system every single game, you're still going to be getting probably minimum 70 to 80 points, right? So then you just need to make up the next 10 or 15 to get you into the autos. So we don't know if he can do it. Can he change the match halfway through? But yeah.
Apparently the academy is playing this way currently, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, that was the whole point of Enzo. He wanted it all the way through when he came in.
Anil's just hit the nail absolutely on the head. I mean, it's their default. This is when they have changed to this, whether it was under Cooper for that half an hour against Southampton, or whether they changed it for a bit in Brighton, I think it was away. When they go to that system, it's now they don't have to think anymore. They're on autopilot because they were so well drilled by Enzo. And they just feel comfortable. They know where they have to stand. They know the shape. They know where they're supposed to be when what happens. They know what the trigger is. They know all of that stuff. Because they didn't waste time doing drilling practice or defending practice. They just learned how to do this.
and
So
can
when
you
it's
imagine
that well drilled,
a Dyche or a Wilder comes in and changes this?
That's my point. That's why, bizarrely, you might be better off having it. I think the challenge is that this style, right? Obviously, people do know how to stifle it, and it's like, what are you going to do as a manager to change it? Like Enzo, he realized that he had to put up he had to push Ricardo on to put 3 high eights in the team sometimes if they were properly parking the bus. There's other things he could have come up with. We'll see there, but it's. Like I said, I think it's a good kind of starting point. You can see that the players are comfortable. That said, we haven't created a clear-cut opportunity or anything like that. I mean, it's only a preseason friendly. It's not our best players and stuff like that. But we said it before the show. It'd be interesting to see if Ricardo inverts if he goes to that system. He has. I think that's a good start, to be honest with you. So,
yeah, I mean, you've seen a 4-4-2 out of possession.
Yeah,
well,
the
right?
Classic. Yeah.
If you put Fatawu in over Marcel, and you are going to have massive threats. I still think we do need a striker, and we need now a left-footed centre back that likes to play in a 3. That's what we need. Not Callum, but who's mobile. Not Callum Doyle. If anyone says that, we need someone who's mobile. But
Do you think Moyo could do it?
No,
Not big enough.
It's more one-on-one type fullback.
That's why in the scouting report I recommended a few left-footed players for that reason. But
we need a left-footed centre back.
Yeah,
and that
you
someone
are bang
ideally
on, though. This
who
is...
can find the diag to Fatawu.
But you could play Justin in that position, in my opinion, and the team would be improved. He works well under. I'm just saying he worked well in the Enzo system, right?
But
I agree. You could improve it. Yeah, you could improve it.
Fatawu is all I want. Not all I want. Sorry, I want that. I want James Justin plus that one ability.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying though. It is like watching Enzo ball, isn't it? Really, it really is.
But I prefer this to what the shit I was watching last year. I mean, it's better to have the ball than to not have the ball.
But we're playing Peterborough, aren't we, Manny? We're playing
Of course,
but
but didn't we lose to Burton Albion or something like that. We beat Burton Albion.
We drew
didn't we?
0-0. We drew 0-0 to Walsall. Yeah.
No, but in the pre-season friendlies.
Someone did win it on penalties. I'm sure of it. They had some stupid cup that we had pre-season last season.
Oh, that was Palermo. We lost 1-0 to Palermo last season.
That was
No,
a car
before that,
cracker game. Don't take me back to that.
I swear there was a game where we played it. I think it was 0-0, and then there was a penalty shootout afterwards. It was just stupid. It was just for fun. But Burton won the penalty shootout. Maybe it was under Enzo. I don't know.
That was under Enzo. That one was.
It was under Enzo. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think our centre backs look so much more solid. I'm a big fan of this Akoli Nelson, at least a duo. If you want to turn it into a trio, then we need a third amigo to join them. But those two look big, fast, strong, mobile. Akoli's passing could be better, to be fair. But I think
Look, it's first game of pre-season.
of course. But I wonder if did Ben Nelson score any goals for Oxford, like from set pieces? Did he get 4 or 5?
Yeah, okay, a couple. He scored for Leicester, believe it or not. Ben Nelson scored more goals for Leicester than Oliver Skip or Buba Samare has.
Skip's been the worst player on the pitch so far, to be honest. As
Yeah.
the ball just goes through his legs.
This is going to be my theme. You lot assured me multiple times that this guy is going to be good in the Championship. I'm going to ask you again. Are you sure? Because I'm worried.
Yes.
Like, can you make me feel better?
To be fair though, he needs a run of games. Like his confidence is on the floor, right? I think to truly answer your questions, we can only really say I think after 10 games. After that point, like, he may well not be good enough. But I think right now to judge someone who's like, you can just tell every time that the camera pans to him that that's the guy who's got no confidence right now.
It doesn't look
And
like
he's
he
also
wants to be
never
on the
played
pitch.
Enzo ball. He's not played Enzo ball, has he?
I seriously think that we should, if we can still get anything that ends in the word million for this guy, we should accept it.
I reckon he should
I think I would agree, but
man.
What was the comment? I saw a comment yesterday on the show about. I'm trying to think who it was about, which club it was about. It might have been Leeds or no, it was somebody else. But like, if you sell somebody a loss when their book value, Neil might know what I'm talking about.
you can't spend as much that year. That's the problem.
It's more harmful to. So what I'm trying to say is, it would be more harmful to PSR to sell him this summer than it would be to keep him.
And unless you get the money back, but you're right there. Like at a certain point, you can't actually spend any more. But that said, the club won't even sell at a zero. Like say, for example, that he's already gone. So with Skip, if he has cost 20 million, then and it's a 5-year contract, then do the maths, he's 4 million in. So you need to sell him for 16 million to break even in terms of PSR. What I'm saying is if the club did get 16 million, they'd be like, no, we're not going to do it. Because they're dumb. Like you shared that in one of our chat groups earlier. 250 million pounds worth of players have left on freeze at Leicester. It's crazy, isn't it?
And they wouldn't sell Thomas or McAteer for total profit either. Do you know what I mean?
He's a strong contender. He's a strong contender with 4 years left on his contract to be the latest person to leave on a free at the end of it. I bet you he leaves our club. I can 4-year prediction. Can we dig this out? Oliver Skip will leave on a free in 4 years because we just won't be able to offload him to anyone because the bids will be 4 million, 5 million, maybe 7 at a push for him, and the club will, like you said, will never accept that.
We're going to have to start just taking a cut price. Even if we're losing money, it's better than no money at all. I think, honestly, the most realistic answer I can give you guys for the next player to walk for free on big money is Patson Daka. I hate to say it as well. I think it was.
I think that's inevitable, to be honest.
It's inevitable
because no one's going to give him the wages that he wants. So
apparently his house is up for sale. Apparently his house is up for sale.
Really? Okay.
Fossab messaged me about an hour ago, saying that his house is up for sale in Leicestershire. So.
Fossab is amazing. How does he know all this stuff? Is he just like on Rightmove the whole time? Got refreshes.
The conspiracies. I just want them. This radio silence is descending us on into conspiracy madness. Tinfoil fucking.
Oh, Golding. I should have played Golding in there. I was going to say, if you look at the way we were playing, so I think the one thing is those 8s, they're not box crashing enough. Golding's doing it more than Skip, but that's what Skip, if he's going to play this way. Like you see there, where is he? He's not. He was a bit. He was actually quite joining this, but not enough. You know, Enzo would say they got to be arriving in the box.
Yep.
Yeah, Jake Evans. But the start of that move was an open diag from Ben Nelson. This time to the other winger. So Ben Nelson has pigged 2 diagonals to either winger so far.
Playmaker.
He looks like if Ricky's injured, Ben Nelson should be our captain. He looks like the guy who can see the whole picture, orchestrating everything. He's the central centre-back. He looks like he's probably the vocal organiser on the pitch too. I think I'm going to start to fall in love with this player really quickly.
I think Golding looks. I just started a comment. I think Golding looks tired. To be honest with you, like nowhere near match fit already. He does off it.
Look at his legs. He's another one of them. He's got his chicken legs. Now, either he can move them quickly like a chicken can, or he is going to find himself not being physical enough. And he needs to be like one of these. Like, look at his body language. He needs to be quite physical. Like, you need to put it about Vardy style, right? Even if you're small, that means you need to be overly aggressive, like Paul Dickoff. Do you remember Paul Dickoff? He was tiny.
Yeah.
But he was super physical. Yeah. It was all in attitude. And if he's got to show a bit more, he's just casual. I can see now why he hasn't been getting game time. He's just standing on the pitch waiting to receive the ball rather than being proactive. Lazy, I don't like that. Come on, Michael Golding. This is your chance. With your first start, we've waited a year to see you, man.
There's been a tweet with LCFC data as well. Kingy seems to have reverted to the Maresca system. Ricardo spending most of his time inside next to Winks. Skip pushing up higher. Interesting.
Are you guys surprised that Manson hasn't gone yet?
By the way, that layoff from Jake Evans was sensational.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised, to be honest, because it's just it'll take time, won't it? And he had a surgery as well at the end of the season, didn't he?
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing to see. Also, the reality is the team was just so poor last season that there isn't a player that jumps off it out as being like, you got to sign him immediately.
Look at that, man. Fucking hell.
Logs, can you change this layout like for the 4 box way? Is that possible?
I've been trying. It's because there's 3 of you.
We've broken it.
Yeah, I'll try it at halftime. I'll sort it at halftime.
Oh no.
Oh. Jake Evans is a passenger right now, somebody says. I mean, I know it's Peterborough and all this, and it's obviously the first preseason game. It's all about fitness, but it's
hell, man.
It's been a good watch so far, to be honest with you.
I reckon most people will be bored out of their minds. They hate this style, but you gotta understand what you're seeing.
I love it. Ricardo looks a level above everyone, and it's stressing me out because he keeps on getting fouled. And every time he gets fouled, I get paranoid he's going to get injured.
This is one advantage of the style now. Like you don't really want to be trying to throttle teams early on in pre-season, using all your energy, using all the risking injury by playing super intense in the pre-season. The one advantage of this system is you want to ease your way into it, let the ball do the work, save the energy for your legs, let the opposition start chasing you and get into that habit, and that pays dividends over a 46-game season.
I think as well, this system, put the actual front 5 in, because I think the only one from an attacking point of view that looks good is Mavididi so far, which is not surprising, right? True. Now put Fatau in there, put Bilal if he's going to play.
Jeremy Monger in there, mate, instead of Michael
yes,
Golding.
Exactly. We're excited to see that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you've got electric 3. You just need someone at the end. But let's see if Jake Evans, if he gets any decent service, can he be a bit of a fox in the box type player?
I wonder, actually. I can see with both Monger and Evans, their positions changing a few times before we find out where they're best in the team.
Mavididi is far too good for.
He's the best player on the pitch right now by miles.
He's a level above.
Yeah,
I think Ricky P is the best player on the pitch.
Oh no, Mavididi is just doing things that he's a Premier League player. I know we just had a Premier League and we've had a big debate, but I swear a good manager could get this player to do some real damage in the Premier League. You just got he wasn't managed properly. He was mismanaged. If you really loved the guy, I swear Enzo would have got a tune out of this guy in the Premier League.
Well, that's how Mavididi ended up at Juventus early in his career, because one of the Juventus scouts saw him and he said, fucking hell, why are Arsenal not using this player? We got to sign this guy. Like, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can, go inside and out. We got to take this player. It's weird that it hasn't quite worked out for him. You do think, is it mental attitude of him? Because, again, you look at the attributes and you think, this player's got it all, right? He's fast, he's strong, he's tall, he's comfortable on the ball.
If you look at his highlights package on YouTube, I bet it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. They're swarming Mavididi, but he's still getting on the ball.
Yeah.
He can beat a player in a phone box. He's just quick.
Steffi playing with his food.
It's too easy.
Rai said could see Mavididi flourishing at a team like Palace.
Yeah, I could, to be honest with you. Yeah. But they obviously play that system where they have more of the 10s, don't they, rather than the wingers. So
look, we said this, didn't we? Atalanta are sharp. Atalanta already took a guy playing left winger from us for about 14 million quid, who's turned out to be worth blah 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 and achieved a much higher level. I mean, they have. And
that one cheeses me off a lot, Manny. I don't know about you, but I really liked Lookman when he was in the team. I didn't think he'd go on to achieve what he has. But,
no, neither did I. But 14 million
for 15 million, I thought that is just, you just do that deal all day, every day.
Cheap. It's too cheap a price.
Yeah. At worst, it was a good rotation option for Barnes, and that's at worst.
In my opinion, that season, he was forced to play out on the right, like Maddison was as well. He should have had to start in front of Barnes a lot of times because Barnes never tracked back. But he was the only player that season that I got excited for someone to come off the bench. I'm like, right, here we go. He's a game changer. When he would come off the bench, I was fuming that we didn't sign him either. I thought he was. I'd same as you.
Here's a bit of foresight. We knew that Harvey was going sooner or later, right? Harvey was never going to stay with us for 5 years.
Exactly.
And so you already had the replacement ready. He was already 14 million. You could sell Harvey for 40, 50 maybe at the time. And you've got your replacement ready there and you pocket the other 35 million quid. And Lookman would have done similar to Harvey numbers. So you don't skip a beat. But they just, for some reason, they just didn't, again, misvalued what they had on their hands.
Well, they didn't buy anyone that summer, to be fair, did they? Other than Wout Faes, so that maybe is it. But maybe if we'd have got into Europe, we would have signed him. But it's funny though. I remember even there was a few games where Rodgers did try Lookman as a false 9, and it didn't work out. But it's funny because he went to Atalanta, and that's the position he plays there for them. So they even recognised like what his upper potential was in terms of what you could use him at.
I remember him scoring. I think it was home against Liverpool. He scored the winner, didn't he?
Yeah, that's probably one of his. That's where he did come off the bench, as Luke said, and he was electric then. Dewsbury Hall was a sensational that game as well.
Another fast twitcher. you know, I love a fast twitcher. Me, all about it.
I think he come off the bench as well in both PSV games. He was a beast in those games as well. They were awesome, those games.
And that's the point, is that he can do it again, like with the right team or the right environment. On his best day, he will be effective against real Champions League level quality on his best day. But he just can't find it's that consistency, isn't it? That's why we've got him. Because his best day is 1 in 3. But I mean, imagine today if Andy King had picked, if you'd seen Bobby Cordova-Reid and RU start, we would be losing our minds.
To be fair, the only reason they're not is because they're in. They were in internationals, right? So they're late coming back.
Well, Bobby Reid can't be. Oh, he might be actually for Jamaica. Actually, I'll take that back. Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What about Wanya? What do you think? What do you think about Wanya? Is Wanya one
I'm not sold on him.
I don't think he's good enough personally.
How much do you think we could get for him? A couple of million?
Yeah, maybe
3.
Maybe 3? Yeah. So that you take the 3. Take the 3. Keep taking these 3s.
That was good.
We've got quite a lot of people that we could sell for 3s and 5s and make the odd 8 and 10. I think we need to try and get as many of these off our books as we can and just try and generate some money to work with.
I think we've got a Bozo alert. Bozo alert.
What?
Hey!
Okay, I'm looking forward to this season already if we've got a Bozo alert puzzle. Blue tinted Bozo, and who is the first blue tinted Bozo? Is it?
I've never heard so much. It's not about man. Like I just when we talk positively about what we're seeing, and it doesn't matter. It's 0-0 against a League One side. You want to see positive things in the first game. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment on this.
I started because I thought, look, after being subjected to Bobby Donkey over Reid and IU, we'll take anything. We would love to see Enzo system again. We're well aware that it's Peterborough. It's not obviously top quality opposition with all due respect. But hey, man, after just being negative for so long, I'll take it. Like, I'll enjoy it while we can because, yeah, I'm hoping this leads to good things to come. But look, it's good just to see a system in it somewhat working compared to not knowing even what identity is for 12 months. You know what I mean?
It would be nice to see a goal. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, look, the game's all about fitness. I don't think you should think anything. Even if we end up losing the game, whatever, it does not matter. It's just they're going to make 11 changes at 45. Well, maybe they won't change Stellace, to be honest. He'll probably play the full 90, I imagine. But
I don't know about the glazing bit, but I think you can still learn quite a lot about things like, is a player running? Is he chasing? Is he hunting? Is he up for it? Is he doing his job properly? Are there little sub-units that could translate well together? You're not saying that they have to be perfect or amazing, but you're looking for things like, do your centre-backs work? Do your fullback and your winger align together? Do your central midfielders as little duos work? Is the striker getting out of shape, or is he getting too close, too far? All kinds of little things you're looking to look for. But the most important thing is we'd never seen Andy King managers before.
Go on, Golding.
I was going to say with Golding, it's funny.
Very
Everyone
nice.
says he's gassed, but I think that's just his style. I think he's like Booba. If you look at him, he's actually doing a lot of running. I will admit it does look like he's gassed every single time when he's standing still, but I don't think he is. I think he's just got that resting gassed face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
He's box crashing way more than Ollie Skip is, for example.
Yes.
Which is probably not that surprising because he's probably more used to being an attacking midfielder, right? That's the thing is you're getting converted. Your natural tendency isn't to always join the attack, but
sometimes Michael Golding so far, he looks like a skinny kid who's actually a fat kid on the pitch, blowing really hard. If he's trying to chase the ball, but mate, what are you tired for? You haven't moved.
Oh, you Skip, you give me anxiety.
Yeah, I was going to say he actually likes to take the ball. He likes to take his man on as well, Golden. Compared to Skip.
Yeah, that's good.
So who have you liked so far? We're approaching half time. Has anyone stuck out for you boys?
Yeah, big time Ricardo Pereira for me. I think that you talk about what's important to see in the game and these types of things, how harmonious they both look. Harry Winks and Ricardo Pereira finally been able to play double pivot together, look very comfortable. They look a level above. And the question I have to your Locks, what do you think of this? Where do you think Ricky P and Winks' head's at? Do you think if they get the right manager that they're behind, they're going to want to say, look, I still think I'm Premier League talent quality. I want to get that move. Or do you think they're going to want to come to Championship and be the big dogs of a smaller pond?
I'm not sure on Mavididi because he's slightly younger.
Not Mavididi, so Ricky P and Winks.
Mate, I'm telling you, you are eating a ghost chili pepper live on stream against Sheffield Wednesday. Ricardo Pereira is not going anywhere, man. He's not going anywhere. I'd start ordering in your milk now, mate, ready for it, to be honest with you. You're going to need a lot of it because you're going to be eating that chili.
I'll eat it raw, dog.
It's hard to say. I don't know what Anil and Manny think. It's hard to say on Winks. I don't know whether he'll stay or not. I really don't.
Another player I would love to sell. I don't an overriding point. I don't want players who are just going to be good enough in the Championship. I want players who are going to be good enough for the Championship and then might be good enough in the Premier League, and that remains to be seen. I already know that Winks is not good enough in the Premier League, so on that basis, he's taking up a spot of somebody else who I'd rather see play for us. And Harry Winks has some kind of name and reputation. We're paying him massive wages, and again, it's a maths thing. Do you know what's he's on 90 grand a week minus 30%? What's that? 27, 90 minus 27, 60. 63 grand a week we're paying him in the Championship, right? 63 grand a week is what we're paying Harry Winks in the Championship. 63 grand a week.
I think he's looked quite good today, to be honest. Yes, Luke says he looks good in his system, but
that is 3.2 million pounds a year we'll be paying him for this season in wages, plus bonuses. Call it £3.5 million. And is this his last year?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Manny, do you honestly think that if we had kept Enzo and built upon the squad, that he would have still been a problem in the Premier League? I'm still convinced that Harry Winks would have been more than. I disagree.
Yeah, because he's when he's not under pressure, he's fine. Like, he's under no pressure today, so he'll be fine. But you're in the Premier League, you're under pressure, so it's not going to work. So you have to find somebody who can move it quicker.
Is he under pressure?
There's a player who Locks reminded me that I wanted last summer for us from Watford.
Nice. Oh, Michael
Palmer is signing this central midfielder from Watford.
Yeah.
Palmer, obviously, Carlos Cuesta. They're doing the Enzo. He's from Man City Academy. Tom Deli Bashiru.
Yeah.
I think Watford got him. He looks like a Harry Winks replacement, but faster. If that makes sense.
I agree, but we would not have been under anywhere amount of pressure. I know it's the Premier League, but under Enzo, we would have dominated the ball so much more. We played Chelsea, we played Liverpool in those seasons under Enzo, and he wasn't a problem either of those games. So I see what you're saying, and I agree, but I think that you a bit harsh on him, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to see the best of him under both managers. But we should build a whole system around one player, to be fair, as well.
63 grand a week.
I agree. It's way too much.
He's got to be so he'll be our highest earner now. He's got to therefore be in your top 1 or 2, maybe top 3 players every week. And maybe you'd argue in this league he was, but next season he'll be a passenger. And again,
Who?
Winks.
We're
not
not
giving
point
new
of
contracts, are
championship
we?
one.
Well, no, but let's say if he gets us up, does that mean we have to give him a new contract then?
No, he'll just walk on a free.
But
So we're going to get promoted with
will.
him and let him walk on a free? Do you think the club would actually do that? The club would, they give Westergaard a new deal. They're going to give this guy a new deal as well. So don't let him have a good season. We'll be stuck with him for another 3 years. You know that would happen. That's exactly what would happen as well.
Well, they gave Vestergaard one because Enzo wanted it. So
I get worried when I see these guys on the pitch. I want to see him. I just want to see him gone.
If he was on half the money he was, let's say, at the start of his, like, after that championship first season, would you have been as harsh on him? I'm not making an argument that it's money or...
That's fair. Then I wouldn't be as harsh on him. But and everybody says don't blame Oliver Skipp for his 25 million. It's not his fault. But with that 25 million comes 25 million pounds worth of expectation for what you're getting. If you're signing a player for 25 million quid, you need him to deliver
bad pass
at 25 million quid's worth. Patson Daka. He's 24 million pound striker. We need a corresponding amount of quality for a 24 million pound striker. And when you don't get
that was nice. Is that
that's when you start to fail.
yeah.
Yes.
There we go. The transition football.
That's Jake Evans, wasn't it?
Go on,
hit it, Luke.
Go on. No.
You just know that Doc is clicking this up as we speak.
Jesus Christ.
Duck eating good right now.
Here's my point. 5 million quid for this clown. And we said no. Are you insane? Like, what are you... Do you know what you can do with 5 million pounds? Look at this. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. I don't know what...
That was a decent
Pace
pass.
at the back. That's what we like to see.
Why the fans
Pace and
really like him?
physicality. It's what we need.
Beautiful pass from Peterborough's goalkeeper.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Is they try and play ball as well. That's why they have a good record of selling players.
Ivan Toney came from Peterborough.
Exactly.
So
Oh, we go on, Steffi.
Here we go.
Oh, he's
I'm surprised he didn't shoot there. All right.
He always just cuts inside too much, Steffi. You've got to go on the outside, man. Step over, left foot, go to the byline, and square it back on the penalty spot. And he just doesn't do that. It's standard.
He's short, but he's pretty stocky there. Just looking at Evans there. He's pretty
That's what I
filled
said,
out now,
man. He's Hazard. It's Eden Hazard, man. I'm telling you. It's Eden Hazard's new gen. What do you want to say to this, Anil? Daniel O'Connor says, "Afternoon, gents. How's the game so far?"
It's pretty boring. It's just the first pre-season friendly game. I've seen Tom in one of our group chats as well. He'd rather watch paint dry, but it's like, what are you expecting at this point in time? Got to give it a couple of games for people to get into the flow of things.
Ooh, good ball through there, offside. Yeah,
Lovely ball. Yeah.
goal in though. Scored a goal.
Who are all these people in the crowd, by the way?
You can go to it. You can.
Yeah.
You could have gone to it. They
Really?
sold tickets. Yeah, they sold tickets. £10, I think.
Why don't we have... where's our man Imran?
Yeah,
I am surprised I haven't seen Reedy in the crowd, to be honest. I was expecting it. I do wonder if they...
There's
There we
Jack
go.
now.
It's half time. It's half time.
Is Jack there today?
Probably. Jack's everywhere. Yeah, Jack goes everywhere. So yeah.
Reedy looks like the kid that has no teeth in Stranger Things. With the curly hair.
I love it. There's your first 25-26 Luke Kempin moment. Clip that up.
What do you mean? You know I'm right. That's why you're laughing, bro. He is that kid.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Leave Reedy alone.
I don't mean it like a mean way.
Come on, you
Everyone's
should
got
be
a
saying
doppelganger.
free Reedy. Free
Yeah.
Reedy. He's
Freedy.
stuck with he's
Freedy.
stuck with Phil.
Free Reedy. He's going to be a man and not be a cut to the slave to
What,
Phil.
you mean you're trying to get him to join the dark side, are you?
Who?
No.
Me?
Reedy?
I'm not. No.
No.
No. Out of context, BTG, where are you?
We should set that up as a Twitter one. That'd be pretty good, to be honest with you.
Hey, if anybody out there, any of the viewers want to set that up, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it is halftime 0-0. As Josh says, what did I miss? Ryan replies, nothing. You missed nothing.
Yeah.
Luke sat it again, says Kiernan. Let's see what some people are saying. Buzz says that was underwhelming. Rye says the final whistle is. Of course he is, man. I spoke to somebody the other day and they said, I don't know if this is true. I need to ask Jack. They said that apparently Jack hasn't missed a home or away game for like 15 years since he was like much younger. Yeah, he's been to every single one, which is crazy. Luke's asking what pissing myself laughing means. Pissing myself
okay,
laughing.
there we go.
Yeah. You guys seen the new pre-game warm-up kit? Yeah, here you go. I've got it here for you. Anybody who likes daytime quiz shows, there you go. Hannibal.
Jesus Christ! It's one of those. Yeah. It's one of those magic pictures that if you stare at long enough, you see like a 3D hologram in there.
That's cool.
Hold on. Wait. I can just keep that picture up there. I'm just staring. I can see it. Can you see it? If you stare at the shirt long enough, you see a giant turd.
There you go. There's out of context BTG for your second clip.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was.
Sorry, Oliver. It's just a joke.
Yeah. No, there's a Josh said I watched the game. I just turned on to BTG and all laughing and oh yeah. Oh, Casey McAtee is being interviewed by Dan Bates, the thrilling, entertaining presenter. Sorry, no fun. If you are a viewer of the channel, Dan, you can come on anytime.
That picture of Skip was a bit worrying. He's carrying weight there for pre-season. That's
I saw some comments saying that as well. Yeah,
I did think
you should. To be fair, if you look like that, let's say right at the very start of pre-season, i.e. last week, it would be acceptable. You know, you've probably gone on holiday, whatever, but you got to get that off quite quick, to be honest. Like, one of my friends was saying this to me. I didn't know this. Do you know Pep dropped Phil Foden for like 6 months? It turns out he dropped him. You can't make this up because his body mass index, BMI, was too high. And Pep's got this really weird rule that, like, if it's above 10%, you can't play in his team. So literally, everyone thought it's because he wasn't playing good. He wasn't playing good either. But that's what he had to do. And he had to basically cut out all the carbs and get lean again before he was allowed to play. Very strange.
Do you remember
Pep's
how
a bit of a weird guy in that respect, but there you go. He's definitely carrying a bit of lumber there. Whereas you compare him to some of the other players, like Mavididi, I think looks quite lean. And unsurprisingly, look at that first game, he looks like he's a bit, you know, he's got that explosivity, the fast twitch, one might say, already.
I thought he would be the first guy to be like, do you know what? I've already done this league. I don't want to do it again. Can someone get me out the door? You know, someone find me a move. We've moved around the houses before. Get me a club in the Premier League. Find me a club abroad. I don't want to go through it again. But on the contrary, he looks sharp. He looks fit. He looks hungry. He's posting his videos. Best player on the pitch, I'd say. Certainly in an attacking sense. I think very excited about Steffi. I mean, nice to see that we can secure that side of it anyway. Another reason why, if his attitude is right, don't sell him. Keep him.
Can I ask something? Yeah. Let me ask Anil, because I think he's already got the answer for this. Do you think Leicester City have even had any approach for role whatsoever? And do you think this is genuinely always the plan was to have, because of financial restrictions, that Andy King was to be the beta for all these pre-seasons? I don't agree with it because I don't want a last minute panic appointment in Dyche, who I think is coming, by the way. Do you think that they genuinely have set this pre-season up? We should have had way more organised and permanent manager, or do you think that we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with another manager? Or do you think if he goes well, I
actually don't have an answer for you this time round. I will say, I don't know throw Locks under the bus here or anything like that, but Locks did share with me that someone said that basically, this was a few weeks ago to be fair, but basically no one wanted to be the manager. Like they asked Roll and he wasn't interested. They asked Dyche even and he wasn't interested. And probably because there's a lot of uncertainty around the club. And to be honest with you, like I can't that I think is the confusing thing. You would think, how hard can it be to get a manager for Leicester City, a parachute payments team with one of the best squads in the Championship, to come in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that, because
that's
I
why
can't.
I'm started. I agree.
I just feel that like it can't be that difficult to wrap up a managerial signing if you wanted to, and they haven't. And I think it's quite telling that Rudkin's watching there. I don't know. They might be looking at King and they might be thinking, do you know what? The team's playing all right, but let's just go with him. I mean,
I was just going to say, I'll come to you in a sec, man. I was just going to say that I've just spoken to somebody who's there, not on the fans side, somebody who's there as a member of staff, and they said that there's a very bouncy atmosphere, as in like positive.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chat with Locks. And I said that the manager situation is not resolved. It's open. They're open-minded to anything that might happen. And if Andy King impresses them in these pre-season friendlies, that is a snowball effect. The momentum builds. Oh, look, it starts with everybody's happy. It starts with some positive videos. Oh, we love Kingy, doing a great job. The system looks good. Everyone looks motivated. This will snowball. And the later and later and later and later it gets, the increase in probability that Andy King ends up getting the job. I already think the fact that they haven't... If they don't announce role next week, then King's getting the job.
That was the answer I was fishing for. That was the answer I was fishing for.
Just quickly here, look. These are the match stats. Not like they matter, but yeah, you can see Leicester.
That's got classic pre-season friendly written all over it. Players so gassed they can't even get a shot on.
So I think Conscious asked about pro license. They're definitely, you can get exemptions from that. You are allowed exemptions.
You don't need it in the Championship. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, to be honest with you, JB. Stop the Andy King talk; it's boring because, I mean, it's really a possibility. So yeah,
I mean, I don't know about boring. This is an Andy King team we're watching today, and we're doing a watch along about today's game. So we're assessing Andy King's formation, Andy King's team selection, Andy King's motivation, Andy King, has he got the players running? Do they have the intensity that we've been asking for? So this is an Andy King watch along. Make no mistake. And if you don't think it is, what Locke's just said about the club in the background, it seems to be that the club is treating it like an Andy King watch-along.
JB, tune into TV and watch him talk about Wilder instead, I think, bro. I think that's your fucking level, to be honest with you.
Leicester Fan TV are all in on O'Neill, to be honest with you. Right?
O'Neill, not Wild. O'Neill, that's what
Gary
I meant to say.
What is wrong with those guys, honestly? Do they just pride themselves on bad takes? Because you know the Dyche thing? The Dyche thing I can actually understand. Gary O'Neill, I don't understand at all. I'm sorry. Literally, 2 managers have come in after them and shown him how it's done. I don't get it. Right? Crazy. Of all the, even the Scott Parker one made more sense than Gary O'Neill. I just don't get it. Have they been paid off by him or something? It's a weird take, man. Really weird take.
Planet Earth as well. Planet Earth's a big fan of Gary O'Neill as well. So that tells you.
The thing is if he was appointed, I keep saying this in the Championship, he probably would still get you into the playoffs, right? But I just don't think it's the right one going forward.
Sorry, Locks.
Well said, Oz.
For what it's worth, JB, even a Nil who does list the positives of Andy King, nobody wants him as the first choice. None of us want Andy King as first choice. I think everybody here would rather roll as well, right?
Yeah.
Manny would love Willie Caballero. You know, Luke would probably love Ange Postecoglou. But I think out of the names of I'm joking, Luke, but out of the names mentioned, I think it's roll. Andrea says, "Oh my god, LFTV should be banned from social media." Awful.
Hey, look, since you mentioned it, and I haven't brought it up, you mentioned it first today. If we do want to play this style of football, this Enzo way, this way, then number 1 on the list for that manager's job, if that's what the club are choosing, and I'm not saying I'm choosing, I'm saying if that's what the club are choosing, then is there a better candidate than Willie Caballero? Because I can't think of one.
Not
God. Now that Carlos Cuesta's gone, I keep saying that's the one I wanted. He was
gone.
there. Yeah,
Vicens is gone.
Yeah.
Juan Leo, I think he's old though. Juan Leo's like in his late 50s, I think. So forget him. The only young candidate who fits the bill left is Willie.
There is one more actually, Manny. What's his name? Ben something or other. No, Danny Walker. That's it. You know, the one who was also with Enzo with us.
Yeah, assistant manager.
Yeah, that's true.
He could do it as well. Yeah.
Is he bald and does he have a beard?
He's lacking on those fronts, unfortunately.
Grow
so
a
you have
beard.
to have a word with him.
Mate, grow a beard, shave your head, and the job
And
is
then we'll
yours.
talk.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think it was Manny. Manny told me the other. I was speaking to Manny a few weeks ago, and he named another bald, bearded bloke. And then he was saying, yeah, this guy could be. And then he came back to me like 4 hours later and said, actually, I found out he has hair. He just shaved it, so it doesn't count. So he can't have the job.
He's a
Andy
fraud.
King should
He's a
shave his head,
fraud.
all aboard. Andy
You mean
King
natural bald? You
shave his
can't
head.
pretend. If you're pretending, you're fraudulent.
Can you imagine that Andy King came out now, like second half, shaved head?
And an aggressive, like, handlebar moustache like Freddie Mercury. I'd be all aboard.
Yeah. Go all out and get Ten Hag. Fly me.
Well, he's gone Leverkusen, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
an interesting
Has he?
appointment. That Leverkusen replaced Xabi Alonso with Ten Hag. We'll see how it works, but
Um,
it wouldn't surprise me if he has a good season because it
Okay,
feels to me
plays
that
that.
behind the scenes at Man United is actually where it's cocked up. It's not actually the coaches.
Here we go. Okay.
I was going to say, so we have got a new keeper, but we've got Christensen, Samar. I'll bring the team up when it's confirmed, but Christensen, Samare, Cody, Justin, Aluko, Alves,
Jezza.
Monga.
Monga.
Yeah, he's not got his afro today, so he's got it back normal. But and then I don't know which keeper that is. I can't tell. Don't know which keeper that is.
You guys mind if
One
I
of-
quickly get a drink?
Yeah,
same
go
here.
for it. Yeah,
Same here.
yeah,
Back a sec.
yeah.
That looks like 1, 2, 3. At least four kids. 4 new kids are being introduced in the second half. Is that right?
It sounds about right. Yep, sounds right.
Monga looks like Page.
Alves,
Yeah, Alves. Yeah.
Aluko.
Aluko must be the 4th. There you go. Is Aluko number 60?
I'll bring it up in a sec, mate. I'll bring it up in a sec.
Very excited to see how the J unit does in the second half. That boy in Eclipse looks pretty tasty in pre-season. I have to say, I'm a bit sad not to see Akoli and Nelson together.
Oh, in the second half.
Oh mate,
Yeah, we're going to
those
see
two-
Cody instead.
I'll tell you right now, I don't need to see anything. Those two be the best centre back partnership in the league. They will.
That's if they stay, though. That's if they stay.
I don't think anyone's going to buy them. I
I
don't
think somebody would buy a Coley. I do.
But I don't think anyone's going to pay the money. We would at least want our full money back. Remember the PSR situation with Skip. That you're not going to take a loss from a player.
Here you
And
go.
I don't think anyone's going to pay us 15 million quid for a Coley right now.
Here's the lineup. Bowser, whatever his name is, Justin, Aluko, Cody, Christensen. So that means Aluko's Justin maybe playing centre, but one of the two. Anyway, Christensen, Samari, Page, Alves, Joseph, Monga, and Sidney Thomas. So there we go. That's the lineup for the second half. So yeah.
Oh, Cartwright's not playing. That's a bit disappointing.
Did you
Yeah.
say Sidney Thomas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Silko, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is still.
This is
Yeah. Who am I thinking
It
of?
is.
Sidney Thomas.
Sidney Tavares.
Yeah.
Who's Sidney Thomas? Why is that name in my mind?
Sidney Tavares, you're thinking.
Someone's going to expose me here, aren't they? It's going to be some porn star or something, isn't it?
Let's see if they play the same way, though. I've got a feeling probably is Logs. Out of context, BTG's got a lot of content for its first half an hour. Let me tell you.
Luke, do you know anybody called Sidney Thomas? No, I'm not thinking Sidney Sweeney. I just thought his name was Sidney Thomas. Anyway,
Oh, Will Alves. Here we go.
We got 4 new kids playing, Luke.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
See what they can do.
Sidney Thomas is a real person,
And
and
most importantly, J unit.
Is that Woyo?
Woyo's on.
Ah, finally. I've been wanting to see this guy play.
Sidney Thomas is a model and ring girl. So yeah, my
Sounds worth a Google if you ask me.
I just have. Afternoon sorted. No, I'm joking.
I won't
Anyway.
make any ring jokes.
Well, I could see why she's appeared on your feed. Put it that way.
Oh dear. So yeah, we've got our just in case Luke missed it. Here is the lineup for the second half. Luke, Borsa, Justin,
Thank you.
Luco, Cody, Christensen, Samare, Page, Alves, Joseph, Monga, and Thomas.
Who is this
There we
keeper?
I don't know. To be honest with you,
Can anyone tell? Can you bring that thing up again? So who do we
What?
know? The team up again for the second half. So do we know anything about Balsaw?
I'm just looking here.
Joseph. They're the two names I don't know. Literally
Stevie
anything about.
Bowser is 20-year-old goalkeeper, South African. Yeah, it looks like he joined Leicester. He's just been through the Leicester Academy, basically. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It looks like it.
Okay, nice. And what about the other guy who's
Hey.
Joseph?
What's good, Doug?
What can you tell me
Jaden
about
Joseph.
Victor Christensen Glazer is here.
Tell us about
right in
Joseph.
time. Jaden Joseph, don't know much about him. I heard he's been pretty highly rated, though, so it doesn't surprise me he's getting some minutes. Exciting lineup, though. I don't think we played too bad in the first half. Managed to catch it from the car. I don't know how much you guys have gone through from the tactical setup and everything, and obviously it's not really relevant as King won't stay.
You
He
sure?
might.
Yeah, you sure? Oh, look at it. Oh, he's gone. Where's he gone?
He's gone.
Oh, I was going to say perfect timing, eh? Christensen gets on the pitch and he fucking shows up.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Uncanny.
Where's he gone? Has Trump
don't know.
finally invaded Denmark?
Jesus
Oh, he's back.
Christ.
Oof.
Accidentally closed down the tab when I was trying to, open the game. But
Here you go, Doc. Luke Thomas killed it in the first half, mate.
Yeah.
So he was very.
He's got some big
I
boots
think
to
one
fill
of
for Christensen.
the big things that I did really like this half was our trigger press. I thought we pressed really well. Luke Thomas included in that. I think both him and Ricky were really good when those between the line passes came through to press up and close down on their man. I think Michael Golding as well. I don't know how you guys have talked about him. I thought in particular how he dropped deep to link up the play. You saw around the 30-minute mark when they were really covering him up. Well, he moved to the space on the left-hand side to assist Mavididi, but also opened himself up to receive the ball. And he looked great when taking on his man. Agile, found the pass through. We're still missing the cutting edge in the final third, which, was an issue all of last season. And it's probably just been exaggerated now that they haven't kicked the ball for 4 weeks, right? So I didn't expect us to be too clinical there. But I did really like that. But, the comment up with Ryan now, it does surprise me a bit that Aluko is playing as centre-back. Because I thought it would be either him or VK coming on. But it could also be VK at centre-back, maybe. But we'll see.
It says, I've got a list here. Aluko's playing in a back
Centre-back.
four, right-hand side centre-back, he's listed as. Cody's on the left-hand side with Victor in a traditional
Oh, look at where Koulibaly's playing as well.
It looks
Yeah.
like Lewis Page is playing left-hand side 8. Alves is going to play right-hand side 8, connected to Jeremy Monga. And Mr. Joseph is going to be replacing Mavididi on the left. Really weird.
Monga
very-
goal? Anybody?
Let's hope so.
Love it.
Yeah, man.
I think
I
we
wonder
all
if we're going to have a different system this half because there doesn't seem to be someone inverting with Booba there. Oh, first
long
time
ball
there,
over the
that's
top.
all.
Not too bad. Oh, first time shot.
Says 49 is Joseph.
Is that
Yeah.
that's Jaden Joseph, right?
Yeah.
Number 60 is who? 39.
Young
it's 39.
JJ, they call him, don't they? Jaden Joseph. 60 is Page.
Yeah, Silko Thomas.
Is Monga
number
playing
30.
off the left?
Yeah, Manga's playing off the left, pressing with Alves there as number 60 then takes over. Is that the young Jaden? That's Jaden Joseph on the right.
Number 60 is Lewis Page, yeah?
Lewis Page. Yeah.
I already like what I see.
So we're playing with two centre backs right now who aren't.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty Lugo is a centre back, but is
Yeah.
Woy also playing a centre back?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Who? No, not Woyo. Woyo's
No, that's
He is.
Cody. That's Cody.
no, he's not on the
No,
pitch.
Woyo isn't on the pitch. That's
Yeah,
bad.
Woyo's centre-back, yeah.
That's VK successful pass
No,
there.
not Woyo.
No, that's
Manny.
it's a Luco, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, better
Oh
Luke,
my God,
better Luke,
sorry.
yeah.
Woyo's
So,
not
Woyo's
in
not on the
matchday
pitch at all.
squad, I don't think.
Yeah.
But he was also away with the national team, right? Anyone involved in national team duties or injured at the end of last season is not involved in the squad. Simple as.
Yeah.
No other obvious omissions
Ooh,
was what I
lovely,
noticed.
I tell you
Nice
what.
little turn, James Justin. Could pick a good ball through that to Silko Thomas. Good reactions as it goes out to Jaden Joseph, but the flag is raised. And that's the end of the play.
Sorry.
Is that the comments?
No, it made me laugh. You were commentating like it was the Champions League fucking final against.
It is. This is high stakes.
I haven't watched
If
the
Andy
good
King
attacking
doesn't win this,
sequence.
it'll be King out on the way back.
King out.
Right, first 3 times I've seen him touch the ball already. Lewis Page, number 60, central midfield, left-footed, big, tall, good first touch, got himself out of a trouble situation. I already looks like someone who's standing out to me. And I tell you what, if we are going to lose Ndidi's and Soumare's, then these are the kind of games that you want to try and see whether these kids can step up or not. You know, we've been talking about them for so long. It's nice to actually see some of them. I know it's Peterborough. I know it's the first game. I'm not expecting anything amazing, but I just want to see some potential from these kids. Lewis Page.
I'll tell you what, Aluko's fast twitch. Aluko's fast twitch, yeah.
He's really lanky as well, man. Like, he's really lanky when you look at his build. He's skinny like me, but he's just like 5 foot taller. Yeah. Or 5 inches or whatever you say. He's really tall.
Let's see. Did Peterborough change their entire lineup as well?
Yeah. They changed their lineup too. I mean, I don't know any other players, but they changed a whole 11.
Kevin, yes, we're still without a manager, mate. Yeah, still no manager. Let's get Doc's opinion on this, actually. Somebody said, Doc, somebody said this year, Roll is this year's Graham Potter. Do you agree with that, mate? Do you think all this Roll talk is going to peter out and it just be someone like Wilder or someone?
Panic appointment.
I don't think so. I think the reason the Roll thing is holding up because they're so, like, one thing is when one club is a shit show trying to negotiate with a club that's got their shit together. But when it's two circuses trying to communicate, of course it'll be difficult, right? Because they don't know what the fuck is going on in their backyard. We don't know what's going on in ours. Of course, those negotiations will always be rough, right? So I think it's realistic that Roll could come in, but we'll see. We'll see, though. We'll see. I don't believe anything I hear until, you know, I see a manager presented, unless maybe David Ornstein or Fasim Abulusani speaks on it.
Are you saying that you don't believe my sister's friends, brothers, uncles?
No, I don't believe the 500 rumors you've sent in the group chat when you've scrolled through not just like 5 hours.
You are going to have another nervous breakdown. You are, honestly, like every 5 minutes is you're panicking about who it's going to be next.
Yeah.
Relax.
Luke is the one every 5 minutes. It's Dice. It's Dice.
Yeah. Luke just comes in the group chat, starts screaming, panicking like he's woken up from a nightmare. I saw it. It's Dice.
I'm not going to relax, man. We're in July, bro. We're in July.
Sit in the garden, have a Magnum. What's wrong with you?
Nah, man.
To be honest with you, I think this screams. I'm very worried. I agree wholeheartedly with the comment that Roll is this year's Potter. But to be honest with you, if that is the case, which it most likely is, I would much rather Andy King than a panic dinosaur appointment last minute. We're already into preseason.
Mate,
we may as well just stick him King at this point. It's probably
great interception there from Victor Christiansen. Really well played there.
World class.
Andy King said in that interview.
You can see why Forest are offering that 10 million for him.
They should be offering.
What time are you on?
I'm 50-21.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of you.
50-25.
Are you ahead of me?
Yeah, I'm 50-32.
Yeah, I know a way to speed it up though, so I'll get up.
Yeah, it's weird, but YouTube I think doesn't have like a sync way. It's just whatever.
No, on YouTube you just go in and make it 2 times speed, and then you watch it until it goes back to 1 time speed. Then you're in what you call true live.
There's a live button next to the sound thing, yeah.
No, but you don't press that. That's a bait. I'm now at 51 minutes.
Oh, is it?
Get Doc out. Somebody said on Betfair, Roll's odds are down to.
Oh, he won it back again. Unbelievable.
Is that true? That's quite interesting if that's the case. Because I was going to say that, like,
okay, hold on.
You know, obviously you're looking at like when they suspend betting or something like that, right? We haven't seen that yet.
Ooh.
Oh.
Lewis Page seems to have taken a hit. Paddy Luco's pace, man. They don't even want to mess with him. How the fuck have we got a Roll Royce in defense all of a sudden?
Yeah, but Doug, you're about 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah, go in and press, guys. Everyone go in and then put it on 2 times speed.
Don't shoot your load too early. Is all I'm
put
saying.
it on 2 times speed, guys. Then you get to true live. I'm at 51.45.
Or
2 times speed.
Or pause.
Yeah, you go on YouTube.
Pause for 10 seconds and catch up.
No, you guys put it on 2 times speed, so then we all get the true live experience. That's the easiest way to sync it, because then we all get as up to date as possible.
Oh well,
I'm at
it's preseason friendly. It doesn't really matter, does it? So
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Who's this number 56 centre back? Who is that? Sorry,
it's Buddy and Luco. That's the left.
I like the look of him. I like him. Yeah, he does look alright.
Yeah. He looks good. Lewis Page looks good as well.
But look at this high press. I do like this very high press.
Yeah, they're doing it much better in this half, I've got to say, compared to the first half.
Yeah, and then kind of
there is a system change, right? Like you've only got Sumari as like a 1 pivot here rather than like double inverted.
Who
Cody
is this
Hey.
Leon? Who is this McSweeney guy? Is he the youth coach? Who is he?
It's
'Cause
Sidney
I've
Sweeney's
seen-
brother or something. I don't know, man.
No, McSweeney, you bozo. Hold on.
Give him-
Hold on.
yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Where are we? Bozo alert!
You've had too much fun over this break. Oh, you haven't. I see how stressed you've been.
The latter. The latter.
Is
yeah,
this
yeah.
the way you've been, distracting yourself from Leicester? Just by, I can see everything is updated in terms of the stream. And you've done everything you can to distract yourself from your nightmares of Gary O'Neill taking over.
Yes, absolutely.
We need like a bozo scoreboard, so at the end of the season you can see like who got the most
A
bozo.
bozo
moments.
counter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Maybe we do the bozo counter, and then whoever's got the most bozo moments has to. Also
No,
have
do a
a
poll
bozo
in the live chat every stream, and then whoever has the most votes
Yeah,
gets
bozos.
1
That's
point on the
true.
tally.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Nice little press there
Here's
from
Mongo.
Mongo.
Jezza.
Ooh,
Look at the
him.
physicality on him as well, mate. Is he still 15 or is he 16 now?
16 now.
Just turned 16, right? I mean, very easily defending the ball there, shielding it. Very nice.
July 10th, 5 days. He's still 15. 5 months.
Is he?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's still 15.
Hey man, Wilfred and Didi's 24. Don't let those faked passports that were found in your
Cheeky ball.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. He's actually 36, I reckon, Wilfred.
Oh, look at Mongo's turn there. I mean, Jesus Christ. We've got him for 2 more years at the very least. That's nice.
Duck was up late watching Chelsea.
Nah, I
Actually,
just
Manny-
came home
Manny
from the
actually
summer
was.
house.
Manny was watching Chelsea.
I
that's
just watched
for
the
sure.
highlights this morning. Because, I keep talking about that benchmarking thing, and it looks like these Brazilian clubs have been the sort of that's been the story of the World Cup for the Club World Cup for me. That these Brazilian clubs are actually they're not massively out of line with European clubs. So if you can see a Brazilian player who's maybe on the bench for one of these big teams, you can pick him up for a couple of million quid. Some of these.
I mean,
kids.
that makes sense, doesn't it? Look at like Forrest got Murillo, and he was really good, wasn't he? There was another one that got injured called, was it? One got some called João Gomez, don't there? There's another one called Danilo. He might also be at Forest, but basically, you're right. There have been quite a few success stories. Even Gabriel Martinelli, didn't they buy him for like
9?
Yeah,
9,
I mean,
think it was.
he looked very good value for whatever they paid. I think they do need to upgrade him, but I mean, for what they paid for him, really good.
Can't
Oh, what's he
upgrade
laughing
him,
at?
I can see Luke typing, and I know exactly what he's going to say. Go on, post it, Luke. Go on. What are you going to say?
No,
What are you
I was
typing?
I was plugging the channel on the live chat on the YouTube. You can see me
Oh,
right now. That's what yeah.
I was
what you
going to
think
say,
of something.
what the hell is going on with Doc's hair? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
horrible
thought.
today. I've sat in a
Yeah,
car all
it's
day,
okay,
so
good.
it's just
I was
shit.
doing the Lord's work for the team.
What's the population of Brazil? Pretty bloody big.
It's so random. What a segue, man, from Doc's hair to the
No,
population of
I'm-
Brazil.
Is this better, Lux? That's like the classic.
If
Yeah,
Brazil
Hey, let me
has
have a bit. I
like,
haven't had a look yet because I'm in another tab. Whoa. Okay, hang on. Okay. I'm no better actually. I'm well due for a haircut.
Brazil's
I'm
got
well
about-
due for a haircut too,
200
mate. But I'm
million
afraid the
people.
barber will fuck me up again. Like I can live with how it is now. The barber did me so dirty last time. Like I'm buying as much time as I can before I go again.
211 million, Manny, population. Of
So
Brazil.
the population of Brazil is about 4 times the population of England, and they're more mad about football than we are about football here. And only the best 20 players or 25 players get to play for the biggest clubs in Europe. That means there's got to be another 100 players out there who can't get into those top 25, but are going to be sitting there on the shelf, not being picked up. They're all available for under 10 million quid. Can you filter through
Humble.
those 100?
Oh,
and
great.
find
Okay,
those-
Yeah.
Aiden Joseph in the box and Silko Thomas slips.
That was good move though.
Yeah.
That's like how Danny Alves, even though he's such a world class player, he basically said I wasn't good enough to play as in the front three, so I got moved back, and he ends up being one of the best fullbacks. Because any other country, he'd easily be in the front three, right? But same with Marcelo on the other side, right? It was
But even like crazy things, like when we used to have Brazilian goalkeepers used to be a bit of a laughing stock. I know they quite like Tafarel, but I always think Tafarel was a bit of a laughing stock back in the day. But in recent history, some of the best goalkeepers in the world have been Brazilian in Edison, Alisson. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what position you're in. Brazil is another place where you can find high quality talent for relatively cheap money. And like you said, clubs have already caught Forest. Weirdly, Forest are on the ball in this area, aren't they? They're getting.
I think their DOF might be Brazilian.
Really.
There is some connection there because again, they're trying to do a triple deal. Like they're trying to. Is he called? Thiago Igor or Igor Jesus, the Palmeiras striker.
Yeah, Igor Jesus,
Botafogo striker. They're trying to sign.
10 million. He scored in the club.
Yeah. But I agree, it does seem like a really good place for value. They may not end up being £100 million player, but it's like, if you can sign a player for 10 who's actually 30, then
or you can get a £15 million player for 5. It's you're getting a 70% discount from what your transfer fee is to the quality of player you're getting. So you can pick up, like you said, a £40 million player. You could pick up for 15.
Oh, which means you can get 2.
Oh, in behind.
What's his name? Is it
that was good defending? That was good defending from JJ because the keeper, the player there should have probably struck that.
Signed 3 players on the bounce from Botafogo.
Yeah, is that gone through? Has it?
Yeah, but there's some dodgy dealings going on here. With Botafogo, Crystal Palace, Forest, Lyon.
Oh, for sure there is. But I mean, as we've learned, you've got to do that. As you said, Chelsea selling the team to themselves. I mean, it's just we seem to try and do it, but we're bozo alert. We can't do it properly.
We can't even
penalised. Nice spot, Botafogo, by the way. Very nice. Very, very nice spot. Rio.
Oh, is that where it is? I was going to say I have no idea about Brazilian geography where that is.
It's one of the Rio clubs.
Okay.
I think
it's a great place to go and get robbed. That's for sure.
Well, what's this lad's name on the ball? This
what's crazy?
I keep glazing this defender. Is it a Luca?
Yeah.
I want to see him in a back 3 with Nelson and a Coley. I like the look of this kid a lot.
How old does he think? He's only 17 or 18.
He's fast. He's decent on the ball.
He's got his debut in the Bournemouth game, Luke.
Yeah. For 10 seconds, didn't he, at the end?
He got like 50 minutes, I think, actually.
I can hear a seagull in the background for someone, and it's like wigging out.
Like London's got 5 clubs, Manchester's got 2 clubs, Madrid's got blah blah blah. Madrid's got like 4 clubs.
Yeah,
Rio's got multiple clubs too. So Flamengo and Botafogo are 2 of the bigger ones.
Yeah, the rivals, right?
But you're right though. Don't be walking around the streets of Rio. Very, 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 very.
Oh, what a ball from Manga to Will Alves.
You'll get robbed.
Holy shit! Who's he aiming for?
His mate was outside when the free ball from training, so Alves is a.
Oh, look at the camera panning to that guy.
Fuck off.
Oh my god, I'm behind. I've just seen that. Jesus Christ.
It's just so much fun to keep glazing him now that Lux has a hate boner for him as well. Lux will say anything and like, but VK.
He's dog shit.
All right, mate. Badia Luco, man.
To be fair, you admitted it. That you said they're all dog shit. They were your words.
Yeah.
Look, Aluko's our third off. Is Luco's probably 4th choice centre back? You would say based on this?
Nah, but you should think he's still left back, right? I'm probably just filling in a hole.
Yeah.
Today. He is primarily left back, and if you see his pace, like imagine him bombing down the left wing, right?
Sell Luke Thomas. We got this guy. Why do we need Luke Thomas for? We got this guy.
Sell Luke Thomas or VK, one of the two. Preferably both of them.
Sell both.
Manga again. You've got to say Jesus.
Oh my god, man! Yeah. It's adults, Manga. You can't do this to them.
That's so unfair. How can you be like the best player at 15 years old to just
That's one of the big things from this game though so far is like
easy.
It doesn't look the gap between our academy players, some of the academy players at the very least, and the first team players doesn't look bad at all. Like I think they can definitely fill in do a good job this season.
Yeah.
How do I catch up, Duck? I've tried fast forward.
Yeah. Literally put it on 2x playback speed. It'll go twice as fast, but after about 10-15 seconds, it'll catch up to the real time.
Ooh, great ball through 3. Now we're out wide to Jaden Joseph. In the box, VK almost connects with it, but the Ken doll missed it. What did you say? Aspadia Luca wins it back high. What are they doing? Is there a free kick? No, we're still playing? Okay, we're just chilling.
When will this fastness stop? This is hurting my eyes.
Well, you might be quite far behind. It will eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on 17 now. Is that the same as you guys?
Yeah.
Slow down, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That was a handy little cheeky to solve it.
Oh,
my
again,
God,
Mongo,
Mongo.
Jesus.
Genuinely fucking world-beating talent.
Oh!
My days! And it's a goal!
Hey!
It's Lewis Page with the first goal of the game. After
Nice.
Jeremy fucking Manga. Holy shit.
Great
We're getting
goal, to
80
be
million.
honest.
We're getting
Yeah.
100 million, 150 million for him.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he's unbelievable.
We just had a triple fast twitch goal. 3
Yeah.
players, all fast twitch. Even the middle player. Even the middle
Denny,
player.
shut the fuck up, man. You're a grown adult. Come on.
Oh my god!
Oh, I love
Do
it,
wanna-
man. You cracked
Give
me
him the
up.
bozo. Give him the bozo.
Hold on, that Danish cheeky god. Do you want to go on about Denmark for another 5 minutes and
Fiber goal.
Oh my-
That's
What did you
catchphrase of the night.
That was good from a Luca as well. He's all the way up there to do it.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
Triple fast twitch. Triple fast twitch.
It's a
Goals,
many
goals,
approved
Danny.
goal.
Also,
It's a many
really
approved
disrupted
goal.
by the white pubic wig Ragsy up there today. Cheek of this boy.
Here's a question for you, though, right? Because I know you guys want to see Monga as a 10, but because he's so good at beating a man, he might be better on the wing for his first season. Because you know what tends to happen with the 10s, even with Messi, right, is, or you're seeing it with Lamine Yamal, is you start them off in the wide areas, and then as they develop physically and they understand the game, you move them more into infield.
We don't have space on the wings.
give a fuck.
We don't have
Just
space.
play
We've
him.
got
Like,
two
just play him.
wingers.
Look at Cody, man.
We need a 10. We don't have a 10.
The thing is, as long as he plays, I'm happy. Like, I couldn't care if he's a number 10 or if he's left wing
Yeah.
or right wing.
Yeah,
As long as Manga gets good enough minutes to be happy, that's enough for me, right? Because, like, it's genuinely unbelievable. He looks way better than Rooney Badaki did.
Well,
when he
what I'm
was-
saying is, where would you put Ryan Giggs as a 10 or on the wing, right? He's better in one position.
I'm
so-
too young for Ryan Giggs, mate. I remember him, but I never watched him.
I think it's
I don't
still
know.
depend on-
Ryan Giggs had a checkered career. Maybe you're not too young for Ryan Giggs. is
No,
it?
the thing is,
Craig Bellamy was better.
We're gonna have to wait and see what happens with Fatah as well. Look, if everything goes well and he recovers well, you're gonna have Fatah and Mavididi probably just starting wingers. So therefore, you'd probably much rather have Monga as your 10. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, but it's
but
good to know that
Golding
we have
looked up for the
rotation.
task as well. You have Golding as a number 10. Remember that. Like, he definitely
Yeah.
looked up for the challenge.
Well, but also, I mean, you know, I can see, I'm not saying they should do this, but you can put Monga on at 60 minutes and he'll probably score a goal every game just by playing against someone who's been absolutely knackered dealing with Mavididi for the first, you know, X amount of time. Look at him again. He's on the wing. They cannot stop him on that side.
I think, to be honest, if you so we can get more like rotation, like some better options, in my opinion, I would still rather have the 2 8s. So therefore, you know, Alves and maybe Monga could be 8s. You know, we can still keep Fatau and Mavididi as your wingers. Do you know what I mean? And it would just be like brutal. Like, can you imagine that?
Sumari with an insane suicide ball to Lewis Page.
Oh,
And then all of a sudden they're in. Shot. Good save, balls here. That's nice.
I just don't see Skip being an upgrade on Lewis Page. Not at all. Worse.
I mean, one has scored a goal for Leicester City, the other has not, right? I mean, that's
He's done more in 20 minutes than Skip's done in his whole Leicester City career.
that's scarily true. Look.
I mean, to be fair, they're playing against their Peterborough second string here as well, right? But
Yeah.
So was Skip. in the
I know what
first
you're
half.
saying. Is if you look
So
at
was
the
Skip in this
attributes,
very game.
yeah, the attributes look stronger than what Ollie Skip's got.
Page is going to grow. Imagine if he grows up and fills out and he grows a bit taller. He's looks like he's got a nice left foot on him, and we'd be screaming for a left footer to replace KDH. And that
where
left
is-
eight
Bro,
right.
that guy in the flag looks like he needs to poo so bad. Did anyone just
He
notice
did,
that?
didn't he?
Where is Braybrook, Cartwright, and those guys today?
Alves?
What?
Where's he?
Alves is playing.
Is he playing?
Braybrook.
Yeah, no, he's
Braybrook
there.
and
He's one of
Cartwright.
the number 8s, number 37 there he is.
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah. But Braybrook and Cartwright, where are those two? They are the two you would think from the academy who would play this double pivot. I didn't expect Lewis Page to be there, to be honest. Has done great, of course, but
Yeah.
just genuine
Oh,
question:
there
are they in the squad today?
Who?
Yeah, there are a few more players who may
Yeah,
well
obviously
come on.
not everyone have played.
I think there were three substitutes available in the first half and 3 substitutes available in the second half. The ones available now, I'm guessing it's just due to if there's injuries. I did see 1 second. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, well, Alves number 37. He's there. He's
Yeah,
playing as a
there,
10
yeah.
here.
I haven't seen him on the ball much yet.
It was
He had that
Cartwright,
shot.
Briggs, and Ali. They're the subs in this.
So
half.
Braybrook is not on the bench. I mean, that's surprising. Oh, winning the ball back high. That's nice, guys.
So I'm going to classify
He was not
these.
rated at Dundee.
It's like there's two groups of kids. It's like the last wave of kids from Beaver Drive, or the very first wave of kids from Seagrave, and now we're getting the first full Seagrave wave where they played at Seagrave for several years in a row.
And they
you
look
can
way
see
better, don't they? The Seagrave lot.
They look better, don't they? The Seagrave lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just one. There's about 4 of them now. So
No, I mean, the thing you've got to say is this current set of players who's playing, they play much better as a team. Like I say, they're playing against weaker opposition, but look at the way that they're passing and moving and interacting with one another. It's actually quite impressive, I would say. Look at this. It's really nice. Holding the play, switching it from one side to the other, linking well, players joining up the ones.
Getting this job. Andy King is getting this job. They are going to decide that what they see is good enough to take the gamble. And he's the cheap option, don't forget.
What I think is so nice
don't
here.
Don't underestimate that. He costs you next to nothing. No compensation, no massive team to bring with him. Another 3, backroom team staff. He'll just say, look, whoever. I don't know who Andy King's backroom team are today, but I think they might be getting an upgrade soon.
Who's that next preseason friendly game?
It's Alves.
Leuven, isn't it? Next Saturday.
Heinz Page.
Let's have a look.
Oh, I should have shot there, lad.
James Justin cuts inside. Cross with the left foot, back post. Can't quite find Munger. Now on the break.
Just so you know, guys, I'll be away from the 19th of July for about 3 weeks.
Damn, you're leaving on my birthday, man.
Sacked.
Sorry, brother, sacked. I'll miss all the good stuff.
What's
Reminds me of school. So go on.
the opening date of the season?
The 8th, isn't it? 8th of August?
Yeah.
I'll be back for that.
Yeah, you will, because you've got a chili to eat, mate. Penalty?
I'll be
Nah,
I think it was a fair challenge, I think.
So, Anil, did you see what Ric Flair posted on Fox's talk today?
No, what did he put?
Ric Flair drip goes ooh on the beat, or?
Ric Flair said, having spoken recently with a very well-respected journalist, we may well want role, but we have this notion we need an experienced manager to sort the player culture at the club. Once again, the club don't have a strong vision. They're undecided. An experienced manager might well be out of kilter with the massive academy players emerging. So this really is critical. They get the appointment right.
That's crazy. I mean, that implies they still haven't offered the job to Danny Roldan, doesn't it? That's insane. I think they're already playing the first preseason game. That's absolutely. But I mean, it's. Go on. Now,
what I just want to say is any manager who's coming in, watching this game, has to see the talent we have in the youth, right? Like, if you're watching this game when you've been signed as Leicester manager to take a look at the players before you get there, you'll see this and say, I mean, some of the academy players have outperformed many of the first team players. Like, surely, even if you're Sean Dyche watching this, you would still think someone like Jeremy Munger gets in your squad.
Here he is now.
Yeah, but he wouldn't play this way.
It's
this is
beautiful.
really good, man.
Oh, Benny Lucas pace, my God.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Manny's right. I mean, having that pace at the back means that you can be much more aggressive pushing up the pitch, right? Because if you turn the ball over, you can get back and win it, and they can also support the attacks. Like, look at JJ. This entire game, he's playing more in their box than he is in ours. He's basically just playing as like another attacking midfielder. It's working quite well. Luca looks really good, though. You got to say, don't he?
He looks classmate.
All of our kids look good. They all look. They're all no matter what position, they're all exactly what I want. Young, fast twitch, technical, mobile. Brilliant. I love it all. I love it. Do you know what? This team is going to be a team of ballers.
Mate,
you're going to have to.
Monga is the best player on the pitch. That is crazy. Like I say, to be 15 years old and just like.
You're going to hear fast twitch for the next 10 years from me now. With this team that we're building, because these kids
for the jar up, a pound each time, we'll be able to buy Leicester at the end of it.
Look who's going to be taking the corner. Hey. I just know it pisses off Locke. It's so good.
How am I so far behind? I keep putting.
I can rage bait your little ass so easily.
I'm with you, Luke. I'm miles behind these guys. I'm about 10, 15.
Yeah, put it on 2x speed, boy.
2x speed.
How do you do that on the desktop?
How do I? What do you mean? Just do it on the YouTube.
Right. I can't even see it.
Settings, playback speed, 2x.
You're so old, man.
I'm so old.
Well, we got Granddad watching the game with us, man. Like, are you not every time?
Oh yeah, I never played that.
Here comes the Ken Doll. Horrible crossing, actually.
Shock.
Never mind. We were almost scored from it. Brilliant corner. second biggest chance of the game, and it comes from Victor Christiansen.
Oh, nice. Oh. Should've.
What happened?
You'll see. You're probably behind, or maybe I'm behind.
Yeah. Here you go for anybody who. Oh wait, 1 second. When is
That's
VK
quite
getting
clever,
a left
isn't it?
foot?
This dual speed thing. You're not as daft as you look, Doug.
Daft as I look, of course I know my technology, mate.
There is just for anybody who prefers it visually. What
This looks so much better. No,
right.
Golding's not on.
Yeah, ignore that. I got the wrong
and
one.
Oh, they're going to score.
Oh, he's a post.
Should have been 1-1.
Nice.
What? We need to see a replay of that.
Yeah,
What
we
up
need
be
to
a
read that. I didn't
giveaway?
see what
I've got a
Giveaway.
funny feeling it's Connor Cody, by the way.
I've got a funny feeling it's VK, to be honest.
It was Victor Christensen.
my goat.
Garbage.
Look at him. Oh, what a pass. That's my goat. Give him the Medal of Honor, honestly. Like, do some crazy ceremony. Should have a statue as well alongside Vardy outside of Kane Powell.
Oh, what's the keeper doing here?
Trash. That was
What
garbage.
a goal! What a goal, son!
This is for Ethan.
We're
Yeah,
watching-
click,
It wasn't VK. It was Sumare. It was Sumare who gave the ball away. It wasn't VK. Build that statue right now. Make your apologies as loud as your criticism. Manny, Lux, Luke.
Me? What have you been bringing my name into this?
Just
Well,
because
I
he
do.
says that fast twitch. What a goal, by the way.
Don't bring my name to this, or I'm going to give your mum those pictures that she asked for about me.
Whoa!
Hey.
Whoa.
Danish mum alert.
Danish.
Keeps calling me granddad. I don't like it.
Someone really should call the retirement home, man.
Not yet.
There you go. Also training a generation of bozos. Good stuff.
It was one mistake playing out from the back.
Here we
It
go.
happens.
Yeah.
King out.
Pre-seasons went to. Yeah, King out.
Guys, the notification from the Leicester app as well is very much reminding us that this is a friendly fixture. It says Con Clark gets the pushback level in this friendly fixture. They're spelling it out like, hey guys, it's a friendly. It's a friendly.
Thanks. Yeah.
They've got a corner now.
Yeah, as again from passing out.
Dude, the Seagrave looks so fucking nice, man. Oh my god. What a place.
I'm always disappointed they didn't have sort of 3,000 or 4,000 seats here. I think they could, with a bit more promotion, you could sell out games here if you had 3, 4, 5,000.
There's some weird rule that I think it's got 499 seats because as soon as you go to 500, there's a lot of places like that. Actually, I forget what it is, but there is some specific rule around there.
Okay.
If they build a VK statue, I will fly to Leicester to knock it down.
Oh, that's brilliant, Sean. That's brilliant. Long
Somebody's
ball
asking
from both.
if Duck's about to butt. I think it's.
Let's take a look at this. Silko Thomas to Manga. Manga to no one, I guess. A bit too heavy on the pass.
Yeah, I think he's one of those. He's so good that you could probably think, I could try and dribble past 3 and shoot here, but I better just, occasionally pass it to the guy to make it look like I'm a team player. But mate, just do your own thing. You're good enough to beat all of them and get a shot on goal. Like, you're a solo Magic player.
Yeah.
God, this boy could be worth. He could be £100 million talent on our hands, and we just don't know it yet.
I said this earlier, so we did know it, I guess.
100 million squid.
Ooh, nice tackle from James Justin. Silko Thomas on the turn, back out to James Justin. Silko Thomas absolutely murdered by some posh prick, but it's still brilliant and composed finish, might I add.
Lewis Page again.
What a finish!
Lovely.
I mean, he's got. How old is he?
Get him in the first team. Get him in the first team.
Literally. He was the one, by the way, in one of those clips that put Skip on his ass, by the way. I'm just remembering it. We watched it back on Monday.
Let me see this again from JJ.
Lewis Page, you can tell
New
instantly.
hero.
Lovely left foot there. Cultured side foot finish.
He's brilliant.
From JJ putting a brilliant challenge in, winning the ball back, getting up the right wing, putting a beautiful step over as well. Saucy. JJ
Look at
giving
the
the captaincy.
technique there on the
New
finish.
page of Leicester history about to be written here, guys. I can feel it.
Bye-bye, Oliver
He is
Skip.
looking very good.
He
Very
is genuinely
good.
looking good. I think him, Betty, Luco, and Manga are the three standouts of the youngsters from this half. I think Jaden Joseph, Silko Thomas there as well, did good in the build-up. Great pass back out to JJ. I mean, all of our kids have essentially had their moment, but there have been standouts. I thought Golding had a really good first half too, to be honest.
All these plonkers complaining about Seagrave. Honestly, look what Seagrave is producing now. Look at this kid, looks quality. Like we've been raving about Monga and talking.
I'll
about
say as well,
Evans.
take the goals out of it. Just look at his all-round game as well. He's pretty
composed.
good.
He looks like a composed, controlled, cultured midfielder who likes to get forward into the box and clearly can finish too.
Yeah. Not surprised. Not surprised at that.
Where's the ball dropping down? In the box? Will the keeper get it? No.
Hey, Andy King back in. Andy King back in now.
King back in. King back in.
We expected this to be the weaker of the two teams, and they're proving
Joseph.
very wrong.
Ooh, that was almost three.
Joseph,
Go on,
that's a
Joseph.
corner.
That's a corner.
Now it's time for my boy to come up front. Love you, Nico.
That's 4 now.
Look at him. He swapped to pink boots as well.
Just to confirm.
Shout out to his girlfriend Barbie, I guess.
What's Lewis's Page's contract situation? Is he one of the 9 that signed?
I think it's extended, yeah.
Can we check? Instantly checking. We need to renew this guy's contract or extend it quickly.
Yeah. He's signed.
How long? How long? Do we know?
I'll tell you now.
Until 2035.
He's 16 years old.
Decent corner that.
16?
Yeah.
He looks quite big.
Yeah.
Mate, is he 16? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. That's
Born in
Christensen's a
Lutterworth.
donkey.
In Lutterworth, yeah. Several under 17, played in the under 17 Euros.
He's captained it as well too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
We got another one.
Dude, Peterborough are horrible as well, though. They are fucking dog shit.
Yeah, let's relax.
They are so bad. But Betty Luku's a really good footballer, so it's okay. Connor Cody, though, doesn't look out of place in this game. I think he's found his level. Straight back off the
He's
range.
slowing the team down, to be honest with you.
He does. Same for Boobs. Look at Will Alders drives the
someone's
ball
just
forward.
put on Fox's talk. Is it too early to say that Lewis Page is the GOAT?
No. We need a new goal now that Vardy's gone. So.
We need.
Ooh, is that Betty Luko as well? No, it's not.
We need a striker, and that's pretty much it.
Thomas.
A striker and another goalkeeper. This is what the squad needs. That's it.
You're off your head. You're off your head
serious.
if you think that's all this squad needs to get
Yeah,
promoted.
that's what it needs. That's what it needs.
After seeing Peterborough, yeah? After
No,
watching
I'm saying, remember, Fatawi, Mavadidi, add them to this team. Now you've got backup players to this. Our first team, where are we weak as a first team starter for you, Lux? Next season?
here we go.
Apart from striker.
Oh,
and goalkeeper.
Sides?
He's miles offside. He's miles offside.
First team, where's our problem? Lux, come on.
Striker.
Yeah, I just said that. Apart from
Left
striker.
back.
Yeah, that's a fair one.
Centre midfield.
think so?
Mate, this mighty Peterborough team finished 18th in League One last season. Clearly, with this 2-1 performance, it's HMS Pista League is back on the menu, boys.
These guys are going to be your backup players. Like a lot of these kids, we're not talking about them starting up. Apart from
What
yeah,
can we do here?
exactly. So
these are your bench
we
players
need
look
this.
good.
Essentially, 1v3, good pace from Will Alders here. Could look to drive it wide, but just doesn't release the ball, and now they're back in defensive shape as Lewis Page will be given it.
Left back and a striker.
Jaden Joseph. And right back from one JJ to another right there, as they'll pass back and forth for a bit.
Oh, another one. By the way, Will Alves, we've talked about a lot of these kids, but Will Alves, everyone's hyped Will Alves, and I said a while ago, I've never really seen the guy play. And I haven't seen him today either. I haven't seen him on the ball. I haven't seen him touch the ball.
You just saw him 30 seconds on the ball, beating 3 men.
Did I?
Good win back from VK. That absolute elite composure on the press.
let me just read this to you from The Guardian earlier this year. The Guardian have explained. So the Guardian have included Lewis Page as the academy gen that should have Fox's fans most excited. So the Guardian put Lewis Page ahead of Monga and Evans.
Wow.
They thought he was more exciting. But anyway, they said local lad, grew up south of Leicester. Page is a box-to-box midfielder who loves to run with the ball and penetrate the opposition box.
This is right there from Alves. I'm watching this 2x speed. It's weird.
The son of Don Page, the former Rotherham and Wigan forward.
Yeah.
Joined the
Big
club at
clubs
age
then.
9.
I would say midfield's a very tough position to play, but his positioning is very good as well. That is always to me impressive at a young age when you can do that.
Why is Fatah having a go at me? I don't understand what he's talking about.
Oh, Lewis Page
Oh,
again.
Lewis Page again.
Come on, get the hat trick.
He's doing that's
Shoot,
aggressive
VK, shoot! Oh, that's a good ball, actually.
ball winning as well as ball playing.
Yeah.
What the fuck has got NOCK Imenta up top, man? Is that Paulo Nuacho's little brother?
If this guy keeps going,
Holy shit, man.
Anil, do you know the mad thing about that photo you sent? I made that. Like,
Oh, really?
And then I put it, and then it went everywhere. Yeah, it was literally just
A great picture, though. Make another one then. Get the.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Make a better one. I'll get chips. It'll do.
Yeah.
Jack confirms Rudder. Yeah, you can see Rudkid on the the balcony. Yeah,
Is he on the balcony?
Stupid little chubby track.
Is he? Yeah, he's in a fucking tracksuit.
Yeah.
Do you think you're coming on, mate? Like, what the fuck, man?
Left back centre.
Oh, that's a good
Great
ball.
ball.
nice baller, Luco.
In Joseph.
Shoot,
1v1.
Jaden.
Block first time.
First time,
so
lad. What are you doing? Oh,
Oh, so
works a bit
nice.
too
Oh,
hard.
trash!
Should have won us a corner there.
Play
get
on.
him gone.
Oh, James
Play on.
Justin. Rolls Royce right back there, I guess. Just beat two
Behave, JJ. Okay, no.
Oh, Jack's actually posted a photo. Let me bring this up.
Go on.
Go on.
Let me find it. Final whistle. Let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, it's a good photo as well. Let me bring. Here we go. So save that. He looks as stupid as ever in his tracksuit as well. Bear with me, lads.
Yeah, could you please?
Yeah,
I
shut
know
up.
it's a bit of a side note, but I mean, you wouldn't say the players aren't running for Andy King. Everyone looks like the intensity looks good.
The intensity.
Yeah, but everyone's probably
There
trying
you
to
go.
cement their position. What is it? I can't say that.
Draw the contract up. He's ready.
He's calling Sean Dyche right now.
Yeah, he must be.
He's covering his mouth as well. The little.
I know,
rat.
that's
Look at him.
crazy. He really doesn't want what he's saying being heard.
Jesus Christ.
But why is he in a tracksuit, you fucking mug? Jesus.
I've got a weird question. Do you think that whoever's being interviewed for the no, it's not that weird. Do you think whoever's being interviewed for the Leicester City job, whether it be Roll or whoever, it's the club is saying that it's kind of almost mandatory that Andy King has to stay as part of the backroom stuff, and that's
definitely.
why
I think so.
Andy King will stay regardless of who comes in.
To be fair, right, the club are probably thinking we keep sacking managers and we can't do this, right? We need to have some continuity. Because to be honest, there was a time where Leicester didn't really sack their manager that often. It'd probably be once every 2 years, 2.5 years. It's definitely sped up. So, because the problem is you have to keep paying them out, right? And then it changes everything. It's not the way to go. But
If Andy King doesn't get it this time, he'll get it the next time.
yeah, I agree.
So Roll might not want King to be part of his staff. There might be
Oh,
an issue.
lovely, Jade. Who was that?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Jaden Joseph.
Jaden Joseph, nice. So it looks like I've got some. How did this the junior team fare in? Was it PL2 they were playing in last season? Where did they finish in the table?
They did quite well, but when it got to the knockout stage, they lost to Southampton, who got all the way
That
to
was
the
also
final.
in that
but-
period where Jake Evans and Manga were playing.
Yeah,
more
got
for the
called up.
team.
Yeah.
So I think
okay.
their season seemed to be a bit disrupted by first team call-ups, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with Duck because they did drop up a little bit.
The club
They did
should
play
do-
in that game, but they were going in between.
He's a
so-
free kick.
Nice ball.
The club
from
should
JJ.
stream those games and do like a
Beautiful
PL2 season pass.
Yeah, they used to do that as well. I'm not sure why they stopped doing it, to be honest.
I would
Lots of
watch that
saddos
as well,
like
to
us.
be fair.
Yeah.
Lots of saddos like us would pay a subscription for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
We do watch along,
Well,
man, for the under 21 games.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah,
Wow.
100%. Then you get my money.
Why don't they monetize? It's easy to stick a camera up.
What a free
few
kick.
cameras up.
Bro, I'm looking at this game right now, and I'm looking at the sky, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you guys complaining about heat for? It looks cold and wet. It looks like dark. It's grey. The wind's blowing. The trees are fucking
That's
swaying.
Denmark, mate. I mean, the sun's actually coming out now, but
Nah, today's not. It's only 21 or whatever. Today's not a hot
Yeah,
one.
it's nice and cool now, man.
Yeah.
VK on the ball. Close your eyes.
I think you're behind, Luke. We've seen this free kick. Yeah. Yeah, it is easy to see why there's a lot of buzz. The youngsters have looked good. And in this half, what's interesting as well is that, like, compared them to the senior players, the standout players have been Louis Page should be man of the match. And I guess in this half, Jeremy Mongo. And you're right, Jaden Joseph's looked quite good. Silko Thomas probably should have scored. Other than that, his hold up play and link up play.
Here we go.
look at Silko Thomas.
Not
Thomas.
good. Oh, so
Look to take on his man. Get the shot off.
Oh, lovely.
Finish.
Wow.
So much front.
I'm
way behind.
And that's the thing, right? It might be like a League One team that's not very good, but this is our youngsters, and
I know they're only going to get better. That's a really good finish. Left. I just called him out for not scoring. Good for him. And they're in the mud. Great finish, Silko Thomas. It's an interesting one with him though, because I expect Silko Thomas is going to get sold. I think he was on loan, was it to Colchester last season or something? And basically he's in that sort of weird thing where he definitely now needs to go and play, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to play in the first team, given that we've got Wigan he was on loan to last season. That's right.
That finish is fucking great.
Fast Twitch 3, Peterborough 1.
Was that very fast twitch thing? While he was being, didn't win the fast twitch race, weren't you complaining it wasn't fast twitch? And then he scored.
I didn't think he was going to get there, but he did get there. He got there quickly.
Great goal from Sydney Thomas. Yeah.
Sydney, somebody said, let me bring this up. Somebody said, give it Kingy on a 5-year deal. Give it Kingy on a 5-year deal.
Give him $100,000 a week, 5-year deal. Come on.
Literally.
Player manager, 3-year deal.
Player manager.
All this is going to do is further the case for Andy King getting there. They're going to say, look, he's playing all the kids. They're playing Enzo Tarko in the first half.
They were always going to play the kids.
I agree with Manny. I agree with Manny.
I don't
One game
think
becomes 2, becomes 3 games.
Yeah, I said this to you in the stream before as well, but I bet they might be doing that. They might be giving him the test. They're not rushing into it because they want to see just in case. What if?
I don't think they'll give him.
It's not wrong anymore.
This is his audition.
It's building his staff now around him is what I think is going to be the case now.
By the way, just going to throw this out. Nigel Pearson out of contract. Great relationship with Andy King.
Chris Powell, that seems like
Chris Powell.
Chris Powell's a sensible one. And look, Nigel Pearson's got so many health problems at the moment. He can't be committed full time to this. But Chris Powell is a lovely guy. He's been around for ages. Exactly the kind of old head. He's the kind of person who's a good conduit to the players as well.
But no, I don't think this will be to King. I don't think King will take the job. That it's simple as.
You never say no when your home club and your club asks you. There's never been you never say no. No one ever says no.
I think you're overthinking it when you say he's playing the kids. So it's like
no, I'm not saying I'm thinking. I'm saying that's what they will be thinking. That's what they will be thinking.
I'm saying it makes no sense because these are the only players available. Like the others have come back from international break and they're not ready.
Yesterday, right? 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That's never going to make the headline in the detail. They're just going to say, Leicester kids start new era in a 3-1 beating. That's the headline.
The main thing here, though, isn't...
Oh, you're off, Luke?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Luke, man.
Sorry to interrupt. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
See you soon, bro.
But what I think that the thing about this that is my main takeaway is not, King in or whatever. I still think they'll find a manager. That's how King has spoken. He will obviously be a part of that team. But it's the fact that any manager who will now take this job will obviously be watching this game or watch it back, to see how did the teams play. And they will see plenty of young players who looked more than a step above their opponents who, yes, they are League One opponents, but our kids were battering them. Clearly better. And that's the big thing for me. Because you can't ignore this talent that is so clearly there if you're coming in having watched this game.
Yes, here's the thing, right? Sorry, man. I was saying now, right? You could go and sign Josh Brownhill on like $80,000 a week on a 4-year deal, God. Right? Yeah, or you say, let's start giving a few more appearances to Lewis Page coming off the bench, maybe we won't be so good in season 1, but look at where the potential is, and that is the problem, isn't it? Is you can get too carried away. It's different
I
thing.
think he might be good in season 1. I think he might. I think he looks ready right now.
Yeah.
He's big enough. He's strong. Lewis Page. Not to start 46 games. I don't mean he's ready to walk into our first team.
And coming off the bench squad.
No, you start off with half an hour's. He'll probably start half of those games this season, right? If he's physically capable of doing that. But what that does mean is you don't need to necessarily sign a player just for one season or championship specific. This guy is somebody that we want to be trying to build around and build him for the future.
Yeah.
He's so young. We could have him for 5 years and he's still only going to be, 21, 22? Mm-hmm. And then you could get your big move. We could get 5 seasons out of this guy. Local talent, left footer. I mean, we're all excited to see him on the... I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would much rather see Lewis Page starting the first game of the championship season, never mind the pre-season friendly, over Skip or even Winks. I want to see these guys. Let's see, in the real world, how you translate to competitive professional football.
Yeah, well, that was the first pre-season friendly. Obviously, we've got Leuven next Saturday at 3:00 again at Seagrave. That game against the Austrians, that's cancelled. That game's been cancelled. Although I don't think the club has actually told
anybody. They never even announced it officially.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then let me just have a look. And then it's Fiorentina, which is at the KP. That's on the 3rd of August, a week before the season starts.
I've got tickets for that. I'm going to try and make the game if I can.
Nice, very nice. I'll try to get there.
I'll give you a live reporting from there. I'll be on Manager Watch.
I might go as well. To be honest, mate, I might go.
We should go and we could do a. I thought you can't do a watch along from the stands for a pre-season. We don't stand any broadcasting rights, do we?
No, I think technically we could have literally just shown that whole game. To be fair, on this channel, but the club might have got a bit. The club might have got a bit annoyed. Yeah. But go on, Duck.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this was the best way we could start the season, right? A comfortable win. The goal we gave up was a mistake playing up from the back. It happens when you have your, first time the goalkeeper's even playing a game for us balls here. Badia Luko's first game at centre back. Of course, there'll be some small mistakes. The biggest standouts, all young talents, and that's the big thing. I mean, this is so positive for the next manager to come in and see. I mean, more than I expected in the talent department. Holy moly, it's essentially every position, man. Even Steve Borsi, who did make the mistake for the goal, right, had a good save. Like, he didn't look too out of place there for most of it. Like, I think we've got a great generation coming up, and yeah, wow.
I mean, how can you watch today and not think, do you know what we need? Let's get Dyche in. Let's get the old guard back. Exactly. Let's bring back, forget this. We don't need Lewis Page and Monga. Let's get RU back. Let's get Cordova Reed back. Let's get...
Oh, it'll be so depressing when they play...
Cody and Vestergaard back and get all these... they've been there, they've done it. They're not to play in this league. I don't know what you're talking about, lad. Angry, mumble. Whatever, mate. We want these kids. This is our future. This is what we've been talking about for the last 6 months endlessly. We have got a wave of talented kids. And they might not be ready for the championship season 1. They might not be. They might not get us up. But these kids playing together for 1, 2, 3 seasons, plus selected additions, you're going to build a team that's ready to not just get you up, but most importantly, keep you up.
But more than that as well, because Manny, you're quite big on building up the transfer surplus. That's why I'm really big on your kind of, you'd probably say your vision for the club, right? Because the whole point about Bournemouth and Brighton, say Bournemouth, right? They've lost so many players from their first team this year, but they're going to make 200 million. So now they'll go and reinvest that, right? They may not be as good as they were this season, but the thing is, you keep doing that year upon year. And if you look at Leicester, when we had our best time post-title season win, it's because we cash in on a player like Maguire. And then with Maguire, you can buy 3-4 players, right? To make the rest of your squad better, right? You can get Tielemans, Maddison, Ricardo. So now you might not have one player who's as good as the one that you sold, but your overall squad has improved, and that's how you get better and better. And the thing is that these young players, you're going to sell them for more. Whereas, as you say, if you sign an older player, you cannot resell them. So I've actually said this as well, that although you want the team to go up, I actually think the biggest job that the new manager has coming in is they've actually got to develop these players to increase their value. Because if you're Sean Dyche, you might only get 20 million from Jeremy Monga by the end of his time here, right? Whereas if you're someone that starts him every week, you might get 50, 60, right? Because you played him more and developed him. So I don't want to take any win that
I agree with you completely. And this is why you might like Skip and Winks. You might think they'll do a job for you, but you're not developing those player values. You're not really increasing their transfer fee to get them off your books. You put Lewis Page in and he gets 20, 30 games, or some of these other kids. Aluko at centre-back gets 20, 25 games. The value that you've now proven to people that these guys can play that level for that number of games, plus they'll see the age and the increasing room for potential. That player from not really having a value is now up to 10, 15. Push that up to the Premier League. If he proves he can do it again, you could double the value. It's such a sensible way, because you're not normally with kids, you'd see a drop in performance. You're like, you don't want to play them because at the end of the day, they're just not going to win enough games for you, get enough points. But as we've seen today, like, they're some of our best players on the pitch every time we see them. It wasn't just this season. We saw Jeremy Monga in the Premier League. And we're like, mate, whenever he comes on, he's our most exciting player. So it's not just... The good news is, for us, it's not just in the attacking wide areas. We've got a central midfielder. We've got a centre-back who can play... or left-back that can cover centre-back.
You have centre-back in Ben Nelson as well, right? Don't forget about him.
He was brilliant first half. He just
Except for the long ball.
Oh, no, he did 2 diags that he hit targets left and right.
He missed like 5 as well. But...
The boys, I think, so many reasons to be excited. Don't you guys agree?
I don't want to say so many, because the reason is to be excited is the youngsters, right? There are many of them. There are many other reasons not to be excited, and that's everything off the pitch, and some of them on the pitch as well, with some of the old guys we still have sitting around here. But for sure, I will be, after this friendly, extremely disappointed if these guys don't have a contribution throughout the season. And I'm not just talking about one game. I'm talking about a few of them regularly starting, a few of them regularly coming on as substitutes to try and win the game or close it out. If they are not involved, because of course, when it gets to the season, I think regardless of which manager, someone like Skip will be more likely to start. But if Lewis Page doesn't come on with 30 minutes to go when we're chasing a goal or whatever, I'll be disappointed. If Jeremy Monga doesn't start, of games, I'll be disappointed. If Will Alves that, all of these guys, I think they've shown here, and they'll probably continue to show it.
46 games, and you can make 5 subs a game. These guys should be getting minimum.
They should be getting minutes every other week, right? I think every other week, if you look at how many we have, and you imagine 2-3.
I suppose though, maybe the one counterpoint is that what if some of these players you loan them out so they get like a full season again? But that's a bit of a dangerous one. But I agree. Louis Page, wow, that was pretty impressive.
You want to integrate them into our environment, our system, our way of playing, and use the Championship as like a nursing ground for the Premier League. You train them up in the shallows before they're ready to hit the big ocean. And if you start signing Brownhills or even start playing Skips, you're just cock blocking their way to flourish. They're not going to learn as much. They're not going to develop as quickly. And by the time it gets to the Premier League, where these kids actually might be ready, they don't have that game time in their legs. So remember players like Dele Alli. Dele Alli got loads of games for MK Dons, and he got battle hardened. Even going back to the days of like David Beckham getting at Preston, those Championship minutes for KDH himself when he went down on loan. This is the league where you get those minutes to prove you're good enough for the Premier League. The only problem is we happen to be the Championship team at the moment that's giving them the minutes. But for our own kids, it's no different. Let these guys get minutes. They are good enough, or if they're not good enough right today, it won't be too long before they are.
I'll just quickly say this before you take it over, Lux. I'm seeing a tweet here from Josh Holland. Hermansen, Casey, Patsandaka, Ndidi, Fatawu, Hamza Chowdhury, Woyo, and Nathan Opoku were all there watching the game. All the internationals or people coming back from injury, except for Bilal Kanous. He posted being in the gym with Fatawu, but wasn't seen watching the game.
Well, he's going to go, isn't he? I mean, he's too good. But
I'd love if he could, maybe just have a few games in the Championship just to ball it out and get some easy 3 points.
He might, like Gus Harmer, didn't he? He played against us for Coventry, and then he got his move up to the Premier League. He could be something like that. But I mean, not saying, we don't want to call him the GOAT yet, but clearly we can just replace Bilal Kanous with Louis Page at 16 years old and Jeremy Monga. So
Showing that replay, that finish again. Oh, it's a lovely finish.
Who wants some more in the know rumors?
Yeah, come on, gossip corner.
Let me hear it. I'm tired of them.
This one is Mark Manderfield, who used to run the It's 11, It's Heaven podcast. To be fair to him, when all the Russell Martin stuff was happening and it looked like he was going to be the manager, this Mark did come out and say, nah, like Russell Martin, that's not happening. Like he's not coming. So anyway, he has said, I don't think Roll will be coming. I've heard that unless there is zero compensation, we won't go near it. We're skint. It's not to do with PSR, more a cash flow issue. Somebody asked him, wasn't it reported he's going to leave anyway? Why? So he would be free, blah, blah, blah. And Mark said they are still paying him as a manager, so they're looking for compensation. I've just been told there isn't money to spend on transfers or managers. Let's
Andy
see.
King doing the interview
info.
right now.
It's barely been wrong. And then he ends with PSR is what they're hiding behind. The wider issue is cash flow. So
is that because of King Power?
It's believable that they're not going to be pumping money into the club, are they? King Power.
I mean, their radio is silent. There's definitely. I've been saying this for months. There's something that smells big time, right? And if they're completely broke, the only thing I will say there, the counterpoint to that, and Luke brought this up, is that it doesn't make sense that we haven't sold any players. Like if we were truly skint, you would have think we'd already got rid of like 2 or 3 players. Maybe not the best prices,
right?
Yeah.
Like we saw my obviously conservative estimations of how much we'd need to sell for. It was quite a bit of a pretty penny. And if we really needed to sell someone, we would have sold them in June. And we sold no one. And that, to me, at the very least, gives me confidence in the fact that PSR, if there is any issues this season with PSR, I would lose my shit because we had so much time to sell players for that value. But the way they've acted, they seem very confident we're not breaching for the season we were just in the Prem. And if we turn out to be breaching, I've been King Power out now for this month at the very least. But it would definitely continue.
Do people want to listen to what Andy King has to say? Do you want to?
Yeah.
King has to say. He'll be here regardless afterwards, right?
He's going to be our next manager. Let's see what our manager says.
How
Can you hear this?
That, really, not just because obviously like you win the game and stuff like that. It would never have been about that today. I think it's easy to say if you lose, it's not about the result. Even when you win, today was never about the result. I think we made that clear throughout the week. The lads are tired going into today. They've had a hard week, as pre-season should be. But to be fair to them, they've done everything we've asked of them. Yeah, we can be cleaner in possession sometimes, but that comes off fatigue and that comes off, we've not had a competitive game yet. This was our first one. We don't actually normally do an opposition game until the second week. We usually do an in-house game at the end of the first week. But I thought it was a great workout for them. I thought, like I said, they did everything we asked of them, as they have done all week. And it's more nice for the crowd to actually see some goals, and some of the younger lads performed so well as well. But we mentioned this week, those younger lads have only performed well because of how the senior players have been with them. So, yeah, really, really good. Really encouraging first week.
Yeah, you mentioned the young lads there. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Obviously, we see Louis Page gets a couple of goals. I thought Jaden Joseph was brilliant. He was like running in behind, and I thought that was a key feature to the second half. There's a lot of young lads coming through. How do you see them? Obviously, you've worked with them for the last year or so in the academy. How do you see them and see them progressing?
First of all, they're unbelievable lads. I think that's why they're at the stage they are, and we can trust them with the first team. So you mentioned Jaden there. Jaden's actually a right back. But he's one of them where I'd said earlier in the week, I will take Jaden and just to fill the session. He can play right back, centre half, right wing, number 8, number 6. He could probably play number 10. He's one of them. You tell him to do something once, and it stayed technically very, very good. Unbelievable athlete. So like you said, they're running behind. Second half, we said, get it wide. Someone run the corner from inside. And I think you saw him do it a lot. We only had to tell him once, and all of a sudden he's running the corner every single time. And he just gave us a great outpour. And that's the joy with him. But that group in general, really, really high quality, but high attitude, application, and work ethic and drive as well. So to see them perform like that against, a good League One team, Peterborough always finished pretty high in the league. Big physicality and stuff like that. To see them cope with that and not only cope with that, actually perform really well was really encouraging for the players, and also I think the academy deserve a lot of credit for that. Having been someone who's worked in the academy side of the building, I think it's all well and good saying like today, the academy and we played the academy and stuff like that. But there's also people probably don't get the credit. We've had them under 9, under 10, under 11, done so much work with them to get them to perform to the level they have done today.
Yeah, there was a list of the younger lads today, and the fact that they'd all been in the.
What do we think, lads? What do we think?
Sounds good.
He's getting the job.
He's got the rude aura. He speaks well. That's what we said about Rude.
I think he speaks much better than Rude though. Rude never really seemed that interested. I think, but
he's getting a job because now he's already elevating himself to be sort of a manager. Like we've just watched that interview, and I guarantee all of us are thinking, sounds a bit like a manager, saying some good things. I'm starting to warm to it, and everyone will warm to the idea. It's the lack of experience, but remember, it's not as bad as it appears because he's one of those unique people that knows our club intimately well, like in a way that no new manager could know our club. He knows the players already. He's got a personal relationship with all of those kids. He's already known them. He's already coached them. They already know what he's like. Jeremy Mongo probably signed. We thought it was because of Rude playing him. It's probably because he probably thought, Kingy's going to be around. I love Kingy. He's been around for ages. I think, especially with the finance thing that Locke's just mentioned, they're going to go, why do we need to spend millions on release clauses or a new manager plus his own 2 or 3 members of staff, which is a whole package of another 10, 15 million pounds. We haven't got the money to spend anyway. Why do it? Kingy and the boys can take it for now. And let's see how at least starts off the season. And then maybe if we need to revisit it in Christmas time, we'll look at it then.
Just before we get thoughts off of Neil and Doc, I want to just bring this last question up here. Here we go.
Yeah, obviously, we're sort of taking each day as it comes, maybe a little bit as a saying at the moment. But yeah, certainly if sort of nothing happens over the weekend, we'll take it towards next week, and it's been really enjoyable. The lads have been brilliant. We've got to keep working at it. That's not the be all. We've completed preseason, no, anything but. It gets ramped up again next week and the week after and the week after, and then maybe in week 5 or 6, whenever he's in. Okay, then you taper towards the game or things like that. But at the moment, we've made that very clear with the players at the start of the week. We're not periodizing for the game. You're going to be tired going into the game. Your legs are going to be sore. It will be the same again next week. Okay, you've had a hard week. You know what preseason's like. It's hard for the first 2.5 weeks, maybe even all the way till you come back from the preseason trip abroad. And then, okay, you start to do the other stuff. But for this week, we'll go again, double sessions. And then again, Leuven will be another game where it's not like we've done a couple of singles leading into the game, so everyone's in the best physical shape. No, they'll be tired. They'll be fatigued. But this is where we build it. Because ultimately, we don't care about the results at the moment. I know we always want to play to win. This club desires that you play to win. But, ultimately, it's the result against Sheffield Wednesday and the other 45 games after that, which are the real milestone, not what we do in these early stages.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. King. I do appreciate it.
So he did say a few times, whoever comes in, we'll take it day by day. And if nothing happens over the weekend, then, we'll go again on Monday. I'm not convinced. I think he's expecting a man to come in, lads. Everything I've heard from him.
Of course he is.
Andy King's expecting somebody new to
I think as well from him, he will obviously be in and around the first team. He'll definitely be a key part for us next season of the backroom.
That'll be a non-negotiable from the club.
There is no doubt about that. And I think it's so nice to hear someone who knows so much about the pathway that we have for our youngsters, right? Because they will be key. We're on the precipice of a golden generation, and how you manage this golden generation is key. But of course the club is keeping an eye on how he's doing. But I don't think he'll get it. I think he'll be in and around. I would be surprised if he gets it. But at this point, I just want someone in soon, right? I could accept this first week if it was because we were waiting for Danny Roll. But the fact that we haven't heard of David Ornstein or any real big bomb being dropped that this guy is in final negotiations does worry me that we won't get someone in this weekend. I don't see someone being presented tomorrow. At this point, I don't see anyone being presented Sunday. Something would have to change. Someone would have to drop a bomb that is not just the guy I get my sources from is really wrong. I want a David Ornstein. I want, someone who has dropped these things before, saying he is very close in negotiations. It would take a shocker for this to change.
And Neil, let me come to you, mate. Josh says, okay, so they give it to him. Who does he need in his coaching team?
Well, let's ask that for the entire panel and chat, because I think this is an interesting question, right? I think Manny's made a very strong case there as to why I could see them giving it King, because as they say, it's the cheaper option for now, but you can't just then... right now we literally don't have a goalkeeping coach, so that's number one. You got to bring someone in. Could be Mike Stowell returns to the club. I could see it happening. Whether or not you think that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But someone obviously who's worked with keepers in the past, very good with Kasper Schmeichel. And then who else? You mentioned there, Locks yourself. Chris Powell, who was Danny Roll's assistant. At
I was going to say, apparently they don't like each other. Roll
Really?
Powell, so he won't be coming with. If Roll comes, Powell will not be coming.
Well, but would Powell come without Roll to be Andy King? Because I mentioned there Nigel Pearson, and I think you're right, man. He's right to say with his health problems and stuff like that, it's probably not a good look to do that. But if you can take someone who has got a bit more experience, he's been at Leicester before, he's worked in the sort of lower leagues as well, and he's just there to be a bit more experienced, you could have someone. So there could be some others that you bring in as well. The one thing I would say about Andy King or anyone who comes in is maybe I'm sure he's going to have his own ideas as well. But if it was me, I would basically every year, right? Basically, to get your UEFA Pro license, they have certain camps at certain parts of the year. And one is the time is now, actually. And what happens is that you do get graded and stuff. And at the end, you can basically see whoever's the top ranked person. So just this, for example, like Graham Potter, there was one reason why a lot of people were like waxing lyrical about him is that he scored really high on it. So TLDR is that I would be looking at that, and whatever coach comes out of that as one of the highest rated people, I'd bring him into the coaching team to be part of King's setup. Just so you've got someone who's like a fresh thinker, who's thinking a bit outside the box. I think it's always important to do that, so you haven't got too many dinosaurs in the room, but you get them early enough where they're not going to have much of an ego. That could be something that I would do as well. So I'm trying to give yourself the essential is a goalkeeping coach. Get some experience in. I think that is still necessary, but also get someone who's young and up and coming to go with the lads that we've got. That would be my tips for getting on the coaching team.
How old is Andy King? How old is Andy King?
35. Let me just have a look. Andy King is 36.
See, I'm trying to work out if the dynamic between having a 36-year-old manager and a 36-year-old assistant or coach is going to be one that either of them would be happy with. There is a kind of, you either have to have someone who's kind of significantly younger or significantly older. Otherwise, the players can get a bit confused. I could see a situation where one or two players were like, well, I prefer listening to Andy King than I do over listening to Danny Roll. And I wonder, particularly with the compensation factor, if that is necessarily a match made in heaven. I'm not saying it wouldn't work at all, and I presume they're both good enough and professional enough to make it work. But Andy King has a lot of experience in the game, not just at Leicester as well. He has been to other places, and he probably knows a lot of people. All Brighton was there and stuff. He'll have access to all that last wave of players, not just for us, but in the wider game of football. And I'm guessing that he looks like a bright guy, doesn't he? I mean, there's no reason to think that he won't know somebody who's suitable for his coaching staff. The one thing I would say is that I would like to have a 20-year-old something coach in there for someone who we're trying to at least train for the next sort of 5 years, 10 years down the line. I think we need to build a sort of a construction line of managers that we can try and import from within, much like La Masia in Barcelona. It just becomes wave after guy because they all know how the club are going to play again. The same old stuff I've been saying for ages. So if Andy King has decided I want to go with Enzo Ball, maybe he's saying that for now Enzo is the Leicester way. We're just going to play that way for the next 5 years or something. So if King does go one day, which is hopefully not the case too soon, I certainly don't think he'd do an Enzo and go straight away. But then we have the next guy to pick up where we left off. It's not just about the next manager. It's about putting those steps in so we find the one after and the one after and the one after and so on.
Yeah, I want to bring this up because Neil sent it. Here you go. Devin Mubama, whatever his name is, the young
Man City's under 21 number 9, one of the highest top scorers in Premier League 2. He was one that we didn't cover on the scouting report, but a lot of people in the comments were talking about him because he probably would have been available as on the season-long loan as a striker, but he's gone there to Stoke, you can see. And of course, we know that a certain Danish player is going to be heading to Norwich as well. So the signings are coming in now thick and fast. Lots of teams are making them. We haven't made a single one yet. Even if we only get season-long loans, that's annoying because we do need a striker. That said, Chido Owe Martin hasn't gone yet. I think he will be in the Championship this season, is my prediction.
Yeah. Just a couple of comments here. Interesting, he played different styles each half. That's a toy phone Top gives him. It makes a nice jingle sound.
You press it and then the cow says, "Moo."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen your DM for submit. Yeah, again, it was just what we said earlier about this guy on Twitter who's been saying that apparently there's no cash at the club. He reckons that the journos, by the way, are actually going to start reporting on this in the next 24, 48 hours. That the journos are going to start reporting that Leicester aren't going to be paying compensation. So we'll wait and see.
We'll see. I mean, at this point, I'm so tired of every 5 minutes there's a new rumor about someone from someone in the know, someone who cleaned up Sean Dyche's towel at the gym.
One of them's going to be true. One of
them will. But that's like, if
to be fair, that was legit footage of Sean Dyche in the gym. That was a fact.
True. That is true.
That was no rumor. That was a fact.
Yeah. But the point still stands very much. And the fact that it's like we're all going insane at this point, right? I'm at the point where I don't believe anything until I see, a wave of people all agreeing that this is what is happening. I can't remember what's the Midlands reporter's name again, who's also very reliable.
Percy.
Percy, like a Percy bomb, an Ornstein bomb, something like that. And then, a few more backup as well for me to really believe it. Because I've heard, Gary O'Neill, and I've heard, Roll, I've heard they've agreed on compensation. They don't want to pay compensation. Sean Dyche is at the gym. He's calling Sean Dyche right now. I'm tired of all these conflicting reports. We have a great upcoming squad, youth-wise at the very least. We just need a manager who can make the most of it, and then it will be fun to watch regardless of where we end up.
Well, you remember Percy at the end of December, he quite clearly had information from somewhere, and he said Leicester will be targeting cheap fullbacks this January. And that's what happened. We went for Warrior. We got Warrior. That was it. I would imagine we'll get something similar because the club clearly want to set expectations because everyone's talking about Roll. He's going to cost money, blah, blah, blah. If the club know that they're not going to be able to get him, I reckon they will leak something. The club will leak something. Percy will drop something like, the club aren't able to pay compensation for a manager this summer. And they didn't want, apparently they were linked, they looked at Roll when Cooper was sacked. They looked at Corberan when Cooper was sacked. Both managers needed compensation.
I can't believe they didn't take Corberan, man.
And they don't want to pay compensation. When was the last time? Rodgers, right? Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
Before then, when have we paid compensation for a manager?
We had to have paid some compensation for Enzo. A bit.
Yeah, but it would have been minimal.
But surely it would have been much more.
It wouldn't have been
100,000, maybe 200,000.
Yeah, it was cheap. His contract was coming up. He had the blessings from Man City to leave as well.
Yeah.
Still just fucking embarrassing, man. Like, I don't get this. Why would you not pay compensation when the manager is the key figure for the squad? You're glad he spent 3 million on a right back who gets 40 minutes of Premier League football, but the 3 million quid for Corberan. I said I wanted Corberan back on the shows as well back then. He was my preferred choice.
I thought there's a strong, there's maybe a genuinely strong case that they are unsure themselves about what to do. Like, we just tried Cooper and we had to pay him off. We tried Rude, we've had to pay him off. Do we want to pick another manager that we'll probably have to start paying off again? They're probably like second guessing themselves. I don't really know what to do. So the one thing that we should do is do nothing, at least just sort of see how it goes. And I think that's where they are right now. They're in we don't really sure which direction to go in. We don't want to spend money, that we don't have. Let's just see how this goes. And that's why I think next week is a monster week because you don't want to leave it too long where the manager doesn't have many preseason games and suddenly, the league season starts in 4 weeks. So you can't leave it much longer than a week, maybe 2 at a push. But if we don't get an announcement next week or at the latest,
we have to get something next week.
Then it's definitely going to be Andy King because he's already got 2-3 weeks work with the players. And I think we are, like I said, this is a live audition. If the guy does well and says the right things and plays the right players and people like us aren't moaning that he didn't give youth a chance, if he ticks all those boxes, they're going to come to that conclusion that King's going to be the best option based upon that he's cheap, he's there, he has all those situational advantages over a new guy, and a new guy now coming in will have to rip up the plan we've just done for the last 2-3 weeks. You'll find all your answers very, very soon.
But he's not laying a plan though. That's what he said himself. He's not laying a tactical plan.
I agree with that. He's experimenting. He's experimenting. Both halves were 2 different experiments. But I'm telling you, they're going to convince themselves because they already want Andy King. Because he's the cheapest option. They want the cheapest option, and he's already there. So now they're going to try and give themselves reason to give him the job.
Yeah, they didn't want to announce it already because it'll just get, really rubbished online. But if he wins a couple of pre-season games, now when they'll say it, people are like, well, look, he's done all right, right?
And he played the kids, and the kids were the ones that were stars
because
of
they're
the
cowards.
show.
You said it yourself, Ross, because they're cowards. And would John Rudkin and Top be utter cowards in the way that they appointed a manager? Of course they would. So is that what's going to happen? Probably.
But if this is true that we've got no money,
yeah,
it's
You're
because
just
they
worried
gave
about your Danny Roll bet. That's all.
No, it ain't. It's because they gave it all to Cooper to spend on a pile of shit. That's why we got no fucking money. That's why we got no money. Anyway,
and we also, I mean, we could have had money for a new manager if we'd taken the 5 million for Thomas, or taken the 10 for Casey, or years ago taken 8 for Dennis Pratts that we used to say no to every year. We don't sell players. We don't seem to like money. We just rather just keep them there, sit them and let them go for free. If we really, really wanted to have the money for a Danny Roll, you could find that money. You could sell a peripheral squad player. There are clubs that want Luke Thomas for £4 or £5 million. You could take that money and say, look, manager's so important, we need the £5 million for that. But like I said, I think they're so confused as to what to do that they're just going to let it see how it goes. See how it goes until the point the decision's sort of made for them. And that, in their ideal world, is probably Andy King getting 2 or 3 good pre-season results in. So who have we got next? What's our next pre-season?
Leuven next Saturday.
Well, that's very winnable.
Have to have a new manager in by then.
Yeah. I know Manny always says we need to relax, but it would be panic stations for me if there's no manager by next Saturday.
If there isn't, I would be giving credit to the team.
Would you really panic?
No, Manny, if there's no manager announced by next Saturday, mate, of course it's panic station. That's fucked up.
But what I mean is if that means in the end that Andy King gets the job.
But we don't know. Yeah, but I'm saying if they announce it, if they confirm he's going to be the manager by then fine.
Would you be upset with Andy King at this point?
Yes, because I think it's the cowardly option. I think it's the easy cop out.
Interesting. Yeah. Anil, would you be upset with Andy King at the moment?
No, I've said that I could understand it, but it's not the ideal situation. But what I do think is a cop-out, though, is that they should have said that we're going to go with him, and they should have said it at the end of last season even, right? Like, actually be firm with the decision. Like I say, it's cowardly. They should have been like, Rude wasn't good enough. We decided to promote within. We believe in Andy King. He knows the club culture. He knows the club ethos. He was with us in League One. He was with us in the Champions League. Andy King's getting the job. Shut your pipe hole. Deal with it, right? That's what I think strong leadership would be doing. And they're doing the opposite of that. And what I do fear is, are they kind of setting him up to fail a little bit as well, right, in the way that they're doing things? Because again, it's not ideal in pre-season. You need to be fair as well to the players, and we have a lot of players that are wondering, I don't even know what's going on at this club. All this uncertainty is the worst sort of thing. So I don't have a problem with him. Look, I'll get behind any manager who's in charge. If it's frigging Gary O'Neill, even if it's, I don't want Chris Wilder to be in charge because I'm going to have no life when I run the channel because Locks retires. But even if it was him, I'll give whoever's going to be in charge. But I think the fact that they won't do anything, and it's weird. So like you said, we panic stations next week. Locks, I think it's panic stations now.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think
I've got another.
What are they doing? They're mental.
Last thing, Manny. Last thing.
Yeah,
come on, last thing.
Historically that there's been a line of thought that they've used people as shields to protect themselves from abuse, protect themselves from criticism. I would think that Andy King gets you the least amount of abuse from the fans, particularly if he doesn't have money or to spend or the rest of it, and going down, having to sell players, because everyone loves Andy King so much that maybe Andy King buys you more breathing time than a new manager is. Because if a manager starts fail, then not only do you start getting the abuse again, but you got more compensation on your hands. I said I think they're going to position themselves mentally and financially that they're going to come to the conclusion that Andy King is the best way forward. So get used to it.
Well, it will be a nightmare anyway, but that's just my opinion, of course. Yeah, and the worst part about this is they probably decided to sack Rude about 50 days ago. That's the worst part, right? And the announcement was only 10 days ago. But anyway, we're going to end it there. We've been going for 3 hours nearly. So big shout out to everybody who's joined us along the way. Thanks to Luke as well. Anil, Doc, Manny. We will be back tomorrow morning, of course. Good morning, Foxes, 9:30 a.m. I mean, let's discuss managers again. Why fucking not? That's all we've got to work with. But no, we'll see. We'll see what we'll talk about. Make sure to join us for that 9:30. Andy King's blue and white army. I think King knows out. Yeah, I think King knows he's not going to get it. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. 9:30 tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. And yeah, take care. Cheers all. Sorry for the ad. Thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one brilliant app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester game in the upcoming season by clicking the link in the description or via the QR code on screen.